Good afternoon and welcome everyone to MCA Men's T20 Interstate Championship 2025. We're live from BAYUEMAS Oval one more time today, and this is the afternoon game. Here it is Penang, the home side, taking on Perak in this preliminary round contest. Two quality sides, and this one once again promises to be an absolutely equal in terms of the names on display, and they are going to be going at each other. If you look at the points table, it is nicely taking shape. Group A is being firmly dominated by Selangor. Johor follows them. Then there is Melaka, Pahang, and Kelantan. But on Group B, this is the contest that we're talking about. It is the table toppers, Perak, taking on the second one, not so far behind them, Penang. Kuala Lumpur are finding themselves third because of that loss to Penang the other day, and followed by Sarawak and Putrajaya. Yesterday, we witnessed an absolute thriller, one for the ages, when Penang just edged past Kuala Lumpur in a nail-biter, a win that will give them plenty of confidence heading away into today's game. So there is a serious challenge in terms of what is going to be up there in between the contest between these two sides. Both these teams have a lineup that is very strong, and they'll go at each other. So right then, it is time for us to just have a look at the toss, which has just gone down just a while ago. Let's have a look at it.
There's a call. Hit. Winning win.
Make you happy.
With that, the toss has taken place, and the news from the center is that Penang has won the toss and they have elected to field first. So that is going to be a very interesting call because it does make absolute sense if you ask me. They've chased superbly yesterday, and the conditions really tend to settle down under this evening. And if you look at the side of Perak, they are absolutely trailblazing. Mohammad Hasik Aiman, followed by the ever so explosive Aslam Khan, alongside Amir Khan Malik, Mudita, who's picked up a century, Lahiru Darshana, Ajab Khan, who's been riding some good form, alongside the ever so reliant Sharvin Muryandi. Rahim Khan is among the wickets. Mohammad Aiman Jakwan, Norman Haikal, and Sachita is making a comeback into this 11. Alongside Perak is now the very strong and competitive Penang, who are coming off a very good victory. It is Isaac Kumar in search of some runs. Mushtaq Ahmed has been very good with the bat. Peter Isaac, an absolute leader that any team will be very happy with. Riknesh, Syed Junaid Khan, the spearhead with the new ball in hand, Bilal Hazrat, Vishwaruben, Lokman Hakim, Edmund, Belvran, and Muhammad Amman. So this is a very good contest, and here we have to say that Penang is looking like they are a team who believes in their sense of cricket. They've chased superbly, and they've kept things very tight the other day. So as of this moment, Peter will clearly back his bowlers to get the early breakthroughs like they have done before, and they'll have to keep the batters of Perak very quiet. So with that, I'm Abrar Hussain. I'll be looking to take our viewers through this game, and alongside me, I welcome John at this moment in the com box. Welcome, John.
Thank you so much, Abrar. So, welcome back to the same venue where we have witnessed a beautiful match that happened here. Selangor won here. So, we had a slight drizzle before the toss, and also with the conditions still a bit gloomy. So, the ground staff has done a great job getting the things ready. So, Penang have won the toss, and they have decided by seeing the conditions they want to bowl first, likely keeping the overhead conditions and moisture in mind. They will be hoping the bowlers can extract early moment. So here we go for the first ball, slip in place, and that's a decent stroke from the batter. So which means first runs on the board for Perak. Bilal is the bowler. So it's a damp outfield and some swing in the air. Perfect conditions for the new ball bowlers. So Penang will be ready to watch on the batters of Perak, Aslam Khan and Mohammad Asik Khaiman. So let's look at the players. how they're going to contribute in their opening slot. Early signs, or the ball is doing a bit. So, keeping the overhead conditions and moisture in mind, they will be hoping the bowlers can extract that early moment. This is the one I have mentioned earlier. And getting that big movement with the ball, Bilal. Last match, we have seen this talent doing a fantastic job for his side. That's a brilliant stroke played by the batter. So, this was a match where everyone expected, and tomorrow is going to be an interesting contest for Kuala Lumpur. So, if Penang loses this match, then the doors will be open for the Kuala Lumpur. So, both are head up with the same points at this Group B. So, Group A, it's solid. Three dot balls from Bilal, and there is a slight desperation. So the batters will be definitely looking to contribute in the first few overs inside the power play. They have that responsibility in their hand. So in a high stakes games like this, the responsibility on the batters is immense. It's about pacing the innings, reading the conditions, and keeping the scoreboard ticking without taking necessary risk. They need to rotate the strike, build partnerships. In the air, a high chance for the fielder, and just fell short towards that third man. So which means one run on the last ball, 3 runs on the board for Perak.
With that, the new bowler introduced from the other end is Syed Junaid Khan, a very capable bowler with that new ball. and especially gets a lot of movement across as well. So, with that, it is the introduction of another talented bowler from the other side. Oftentimes, we've seen Bilal Hazrat just struggling to find a partner, but I think Penang has finally asserted someone who's equally good.
Definitely, there's a good sign of progress between these two batters as of now. Aslam Khan and Mohammad Asik Aman is doing a really a great job for Perak. They know this is an intense pressure for them to handle this situation. And down the leg side, it should be a wide signal given by the straight umpire.
It's starting off with a little bit of an extra that's always going to make life a little bit easier for the two batters. They're still looking to free their arms, but because of some tight bowling, that isn't the case yet.
Should be a close call whether the ball is having the contact with the bat. So that in case the Syed Junaid immediately raises his hand towards the straight umpire. This is good bowling from Syed Junaid so far.
He's maintained that right corridor just outside the off stump. We know Aslam Khan has a very good pull shot, but this time the length is just perfect. He hasn't allowed him to free his arms.
Good shot. Really a wonderful thing to see this. He is a great timer of the ball. And have a look at the shot from the batter and just showed his perfection towards the ball.
Aslam Khan is showing us why he's feared. Anything in his zone, he can thrash it away. This time, it is punished through that cover area, and he's off and running. You can't really allow momentum to be in his way. Once he gets going, Perak will be looking to post a very big total. And throughout this tournament, we've seen him how he dominates that power play. So Syed Junaid will have his work cut off here, and he needs to start bowling in the right areas.
Slight temperament shown by the batter, but Syed Junaid celebrates this, so which means it's a wicket. First contact was in the body, and the second one straight away the ball kisses the stumps here.
Junaid Khan take a bow, knocks him over with that absolute peach of a delivery, just getting a bit of a pad involved, and the ball travels and the celebration comes out. Absolutely deserved it. And in the end, it is Syed Junaid Khan who has that last laugh.
Definitely, it's a much needed breakthrough for Syed Junaid, and we came to see that in the last match what Penang did. That was one of the best match against Kuala Lumpur. So that also happened in the same venue, if I'm not wrong. So that game was literally very close. They won that match by 7 runs. But what about this game for Perak? The openers came with some plans and right strategy, and that has been vanished by Syed Junaid. And he picks up a wicket in his very first over, been conceding a boundary.
Have to give credit to Junaid Khan. Hasn't really allowed Aslam Khan to settle in, and that's the reason for the way he's picked up a wicket. Only 5 runs to his name. He's coming to this game riding some very good form, and Perak have lost the prize wicket of Aslam Khan. So that will really give Penang a lot of confidence here. And I think Peter Isaac's decision to come out there and have a ball first is already giving some dividends. And you can sense that energy going around. The fielders are looking so much more alive. And in comes another talismanic danger man. It is Amir Khan Malik, another person who's in very good touch. The captain needs to step up.
Yes, after conceding a boundary and a wicket, Syed Junaid just sticking to the basic strength which he has. Early breakthrough. Perak right now struggling, 9 for 1. So it will be a key and the responsibility for Amir Khan to cope up with Mohammad Azik Ayman. And also, I just want to mention this clearly. So if Penang loses this match, definitely it will be an eye opener for Kuala Lumpur at their group stage. So it's a must-win game for Penang. wide signal straight away shown by the umpire.
So Junaid Khan is still searching for another breakthrough here. And we have to say that even though he's considered a couple of wides, he's been relentless. He's attacking most of the time around that off stump area, and he hasn't really offered too many freebies. Amir Khan is in at the moment, and I have to say he's up again, a clever bowler in Syed Junaid Khan.
Good intent shot that came from the batter, but that has been stopped by the fielder. So after a long tarry over from Syed Junaid, 2 overs have got completed. Perak 10 runs on the board for the loss of 1 wicket.
From here on, Amir Khan is going to be the key if Penang want to just chip away with a few wickets, and the right man for the job is to continue from the other end. Bilal Hazrat, the tall fast bowler, has such a good action. He generates a lot of rhythm in his run up, and when he's steaming in, he usually exerts himself with that round arm action as well. He has beautiful use of the wrist, and he has everything going on for himself when he's operating in such good rhythm. At the moment, his first over gone for just 3 runs, and he's really in search of a wicket here. Have to give credit to Peter Isaac, he's still operating with a slip in play. So all Bilal Hazrat needs is to get 1 wicket here, maybe just pitch it full.
Using the feet very well and timed it perfectly. So which means he will get the boundary. So first few runs for Perak, definitely it will boost their advantage in the batting unit.
That was a touch over pitch, and that is enough for Haziq to capitalize. He does not miss out on that. He's another trailblazing opener, and he's also been operating quite consistently in recent times. Sometimes he gets under the shadows of Aslam Khan, but today this is an opportunity for him to really rise and shine for Perak here with the bat.
It's high time for Perak to rethink their ideas. They've lost their opener, and big shot came from this batter. Slashes towards the offside, and he's a strong character.
That's the danger of bowling to someone like Hazid Ayman with a little bit of width. Bilal Hazard is someone who operates with a lot of pace, and this time the batter capitalized, thrashed away on the offside, and as soon as that ball passed point, we knew that boundary was written all over it.
He just opens his face of the bat and threaded through the gap like a needle. The batter showing class and control. That's easy picking for him to get that boundary. Yeah. So in a tense pace of the game, when runs were hard to come by, the batter broke the shackles with a perfectly timed boundary. It wasn't a brutal force. 2 balls from Bilal that went for a boundary. Now pressure is on the bowler. It's guided nicely. It was a single, I guess.
This is good batting from the 2 openers. I know Amir Khan Malik is yet to get off the mark, but his presence is somehow just telling Haziq Ayman from the other end that he has the license to go on. It's always better to just be out there in the center with your captain by your side, because sometimes, as you can see, that they're going at it and just discussing those words of wisdom that can do a lot of good for your confidence as well. So right now it is Mohammad Haziq Ayman who's leading the charge. He has moved on to 12 with just 9 deliveries, and Bilal Hazrat has been slightly expensive in his comeback over, but he's someone who's very competitive, so this is interesting contest at the moment.
Long hand from Bilal, and trying to play in that gap, but they have the fielder out there in that surface. 19 runs on the board so far from Perak. And Bilal, so he is someone who is having the tall reach and advantage. So he is a much talented bowler in this side for Penang.
Yes, and you can see that after conceding the 2 boundaries, he has dragged that length slightly backwards, and once he started to pitch the ball in that hard length area, it's been slightly more difficult for the 2 batters to operate. So that really tells us how experienced he is. and how good he understands this game.
There is a slight fumble in the run-up of Bilal. So not quite often we could see the bowlers does this for the batters. And even today, a little bit earlier in the previous game, we could see that the same instance happened. But I guess that was actually a spinner. But this time, we saw it came from the pace of Bilal. And also, last match, he faces this kind of trouble in his legs, I guess. Beautiful delivery from Bilal, getting the extra bit of bounce and again coming back stronger.
That was I was mentioning before, that if Bilal is pitching the ball in that hard length, he has the height and that effort in his bowling to carry the ball all the way to the wicket keeper. But in the process of bowling with a lot of pace, I think he's struggling out there. You can see that he has his ankle already strapped and he's really putting a lot of exertion on that landing foot. It's never easy. And sometimes if you don't land very smoothly, can be very difficult. I hope he's okay, but looks like he's in a little bit of a pain. So some time for the players to check on him, and maybe the physio can just have a look. There's one more delivery remaining in this over, but for the hopes of Penang, they'll have to wish that Bilal recovers nicely and is able to continue.
Yes, this is the thing I've mentioned a little bit earlier in this over when Bilal got struggled against Kuala Lumpur. So the leg injuries for the bowlers are particularly worrying. They impact pace, control, and confidence. So he's the first choice bowler for Penang, and I think so. He definitely he'll get that speedy recovery. I hope he is fit and ready right now. And in fact, in that last match also, he bowled his complete court, I guess, and he came back to bowl during that middle overs. So such a strong man, and of course, as a being as an athlete, you need to have that fitness level. So for a team relying on him to deliver breakthroughs or maintain pressure, so you should be aware on some that injury concerns.
Yes, Bilal Hassad is their spearhead, so Penang will have to hope and pray that he is okay. But so far, he's actually done quite well for the captain, Peter Isaac. And I have to give Peter credit because he's used him very well and very smartly as well. At the start of the innings, he usually operates and then comes later at the very end.
Bowls are wide. So the injuries are part of the game, but when it strikes a key player, it's always a setback. All eyes will be on his recovery, but and also uh, he just now came and delivers a delivery. So the positive start not only gave the team momentum, but also put the bowlers under pressure early. So that is what the plan maybe from Perak. As of now, some runs have came for them. 20 already on the board, but they've lost an important wicket. Amir Khan on facing four balls. He didn't open his account, and Bilal has got the shape finally. So dot ball to finish off this over. 3 overs have got completed. Perak 20 runs on the board for the loss of 1 wicket.
Not the usual start for Perak. They're usually a team that runs in and almost demolishes a bowling attack from the word go. But today it looks like we have to give credit to Penang one more time. They've stepped in quite nicely. And credit to Bilal Hazrat, even with that injury concern, he's delivered a very good over. Is someone who's given the batters a very hard time, bowls with a heavy ball, and sometimes not just about the tricks of a bowler, it's about hitting that hard length with a consistent speed. So, with that hope, we'll hope that Bilal Hazrat is doing okay. He can get his ankle checked. In the meantime, it is another very good addition to the side of Penang. Junaid Khan introduced back into the attack.
This is going to be an easy starter for Amir Khan and Mohammad Asik Heyman. As of now, see, at this group, Perak is looking very stronger. The points table. and they also want a win. What a placement! And it seems to be an active player, and in fact, they have the fielder out there. So have a look at that workload that he gave for that ball.
Good field placement, definitely, from Peter Isaac to back his bowlers are. And I think they're operating in a plan. They know exactly what is required, and they have the support of their captain as well. Up against someone like Amir Khan, it's never going to be easy. But really, I'm waiting for Amir Khan to break the shackles and free his arms here.
Amir Khan, the tall player, as the inning progress, the need of the hour. Penang will be looking for some early breakthroughs here. Perak needs some boundaries. The singles are keeping the scoreboard ticking here for Perak, but that alone won't win them for them with over slipping away. Syed Junaid. Oh, edged, and this time no chance for the wicketkeeper to catch this ball. They don't have a slip too, so a mistake done by the bowler.
I think that was too fine for even a slip fielder, but nevertheless, you have to give credit to the bowler for inducing that outside edge. It was very sneaky, but there is space on that ball, so it raced away for a boundary. So we have to give credit one more time to Syed Junaid Khan for being so consistent in terms of accuracy. And the batter Amir Khan Malik on that occasion was just hoping to smash it away towards cover. And at the moment, it looks like the wicket has become slightly tricky to bat on, and especially if you're bowling in the right areas, it's looking a bit difficult for the batters. Good decision from Peter Isaac to come out there and have a bowl.
Every dot ball is building tension after a shaky start. Oh, that's gone. I think so. This time the wicket keeper does the trick. Syed Junaid, it celebrates. So which means another wicket for Penang. And they're running all over the ground.
What a day this man is having. Gone. This is exactly what pressure does. Amir Khan Malik, the big name, has to walk back to the pavilion. Faint edge this time. And he's bowling an absolute blinder. In comes the celebration one more time. And it is a message that I think he's giving to the entire Perak lineup. Junaid's relentlessness is just telling us a different story. For Penang, we have seen some of the spinners stepping up in previous games, but today the faster bowlers are turning on the heat. What a tournament this side is having.
Syed Junaid is a silent guardian. But here, the wicketkeeper is a silent guardian from behind the stumps. Strikes again in a game often dominated by power hitters and fiery bowlers. It's moments like this, a sharp take by the wicket keeper. So another wicket falls for Perak. 25 for 2 right now. Syed Junaid, he seems to be a happy man that shift the tide quietly but decisively. New batter in, Mudita Lakshan.
Mudita is someone who's very calculated and a solid batter. He already has 100 to his name. It was a brilliant innings a few days ago. And right now, he comes out at a very similar sort of a situation. Mudita Lakshan is often someone who takes that little bit of time. He understands the situation and he really respects the game as well. So he's a very humble soul. But right now, he comes to bat in a very difficult situation given the way Syed Junaid Khan is operating at the moment. So it is not going to be easy, but a lot of hopes are relying for Perak in the way that Mudita Lakshan goes from here.
And this one played by the batter, Mudita Lakshan. So the first mistake was from the fielder who got fumbled, and another one is the ball got a contact on the body of the fielder straight away. That ball races to the boundary rope, so which means batter gets the credits.
I hope the photographers were alert to the situation because that was a gorgeous looking shot. And to get off the mark in such a high style fashion tells a lot about his form, doesn't it? He opens his shoulders up, and that ball was slightly fuller, and he's driven that with a crisp shot towards cover. Beautifully played.
Mudita Lakshan, after getting that boundary, so his immediate presence of mind tells that to go for a single. To finish off this over, 4 overs have got completed, 30 runs on the board for the loss of 2 wickets.
This is the partnership that I think Perak will be hoping that can bat very long. Mohammad Haziq Ayman has a very different role here. He's come out to open the innings one more time, and he's also someone who's in good form. But today is a situation which demands him to play a long innings, but he needs to be playing it very quickly as well. He's joined by Mudita Lakshan, who needs to play a good support role. And at the moment, they have to just see off that new ball and just come back a bit stronger into this contest. Because 4 overs, 30 runs with the loss of two, I think Penang will feel that they have a better grip at this game at this stage. But soon, if these batters are able to just see off a few overs, they'll start to look very dangerous as well. So quite evenly poised at this moment, and the game is rightly in the balance.
Here comes the star of the last match for Penang, Vishu Urban. But this time quite interesting. So they have given the ball to him inside the power play. Beautifully played by Mudita Lakshan, and the ball races over to the fence. First ball that has been punished by Mudita Lakshan. So Vishu Urban, now he feels the pressure.
That is always the case, isn't it? Whenever you pick up a boundary of the very first ball, it becomes a challenge for the bowler to come back and just contain the batters in the rest of the deliveries in that over. So far, Mudita Lakshan has been absolutely gorgeous when he plays strokes on the offside. And on that occasion as well, he carved that away with such finesse. Tells a lot about what kind of a personality he is. He has that aggression, I tell you, but it never shows on his face.
So Perak's batting side will now face a different challenge. This moves put pressure on both the bowler and also the batters. The idea is to break the rhythm of the aggressive stroke makers. Mudita Lakshan, 9 of 4. Oh, Vishu Varban has a big appeal. So, and also the wicket keeper just straight away moved on to the leg umpire.
I think he was appealing for getting an opportunity to stump Mudita Lakshan there, but it was so close to the edge of the bat as well. So credit to Vishwaruban for being so consistently attacking the stump, and if he continues like that, he'll be in with a chance.
This is where the cricket turns into a psychological chess match. One hand, the bowler streaming in with a clear plan, and the another end, we could see that the batter looking for that one mistake has to be happened. So one on the other, the batter standing tall, eyes locked, anticipating the length, ready to pounce. So every ball here is a question: will it be full? Will it turn? Will it bounce? Vishu Urban in that case is getting some bit of turn. And one more time, is it the same fielder who did the same mistake? Got fumble. So finally, I guess that the fielder has stopped it near the boundary ropes.
Very sloppy from the fielder inside the circle. And you mentioned how this game is turning out to be like a chess match, and that was almost like a mistake of sacrificing your queen. So you can't really afford to make such mistakes at this level, because it's all about pressure and it's all about consistency.
Flighted through the air, a decent delivery to finish off this over. So 5 overs have got completed. Perak, 37 on the board for the loss of 2 wickets.
At this stage, you have to feel that Penang is really dictating terms in this contest, although the likes of Haziq Ayman and Mudita Lakshan are still out there. But I have to say that the runs are in check at the moment. Just the run rate is 7.4. So Perak's powerful lineup has not been quite allowed to settle in. And in comes one of the other player who's in absolutely good form. And for a moment, I'm still waiting to see if that's confirmation. Is it going to be Peter Isaac into the attack? A bowler with a very unorthodox run up, but it's so synonymous in his approach. He's made a name for himself, and he's really someone with lots of experience. can the captain step up one more time, just like he did the other day? And he's at the start of his run up to continue the progression.
At the same time, they will be keen to keep the momentum going and to ensure the power play doesn't go to waste. But inside this first 6 overs, Perak have managed to score 37 runs. No big extras from Penang. Absolute, wonderful contribution. This has been from Penang bowlers. Peter. Oh, big uphill, but this time definitely it will be going down to the leg side.
Yes, but if you take a note of it, there is one more time some turn and bounce on offer. So if you look at Peter Isaac's run up as well, it's quite diagonal and it's very subtle and very clever. I think if you're trying to dissect his action, that's really the reason he extracts a little bit of extra turn from a pitch. On that occasion, half stopped by Point, but cover was just a little bit late and the batters exchanged position for a couple of runs. But the point I was trying to make is it's very difficult for the batters to sometimes get themselves in a proper position to play a better shot, and picking up the variations of Peter Isaac can be just that little bit more tricky.
Peter. One more time with the strong advantage of the way he releases the ball. The spinner is getting an excellent purchase from the surface. A sign that this pitch has plenty in it for the slower bowlers. Popping out of the crease. This man stands tall this time. Oh, that might be hitting the glass, I guess. Someone has to be safe there.
Mudita wasting no time. He realizes that if he allows Peter Isaac to settle in, it will start getting very difficult. So just when you thought that the pressure was on and the lids are there, the batsman just steps down the track and unleashes a massive blow. That's the kind of power that Mudita Lakshan has in his deposit. Sometimes, like I mentioned, it doesn't show, but he's a very, very capable batter. So this is turning out to be a good over eventually for Perak. And you mentioned that that has gone a long way back at the hut. So they're in search of perhaps that ball.
And finally, I guess that the fielder gets the ball from the spectators' area. The batter picks the length early, clears the front leg and launched it high and handsome over. That fence, that's a clean strike from Mudita Lakshan. So he's a powerful man. Can he go for another one? Slashes towards the offside. Already we have seen a 6 in the previous delivery. This time he gets a boundary, so which means a 6 and a boundary to finish off this over. 6 overs have got completed. Perak 49 already on the board for the loss of 2 wickets.
Look how nicely he gets into such a good position. He knows that the ball is just turning towards him and he gives himself that just little bit of space, and eventually you have to say that it was a lovely looking shot. He was there, and right now he's eventually starting to look threatening. Power play is completed, and right now we have to say that Perak has eventually gotten some respectability in terms of the scoring rate.
Last over, I was the one keep on telling that inside the power play, they have managed to score only just a matter of 37 runs. But if you see that last 2 balls, the strike rate of Mudita Lakshan, the way he handled the spinner, one went for a 6 and the last ball went for a boundary. So it shows the clear intent, Mudita Lakshan, that he can able to hit some powerful shots. Mohammad Asik Hyman tells that, okay, this time I will deal this bowler. He gets a boundary, the very first ball of this over.
That's beautifully played again. The batter leans onto that front foot and smashes it. It is as if he was sending the ball in an attempt to race it past anyone standing there. So on that occasion, I have to say that the timing took over power and it had just enough to take it all the way. So one more time, you'll feel that the scoreboard is nicely getting a move on, and Mohammad Hasik Ayman is now complimenting his partner Mudita quite nicely.
There is a chat between the Penang player and the straight umpire. So I guess with that boundary, 50 comes up for Perak, if I'm not wrong. showing positive intent despite the early loss of wickets. Batters have kept the scoreboard moving. So with the power play done, Vishuvarban to Mohammad Azik Hayman. Decent ball from Vishuvarban, kept low and putting another pressure on the batter.
Vishuvarban has shown us that he can also complement Peter Isaac very nicely. He's usually among wickets, but not really allow him to settle in. Another powerful shot. This time Peter picks it up nicely, and it will only be a single.
Still, they want to go with Vishuvarban. He needs to complete his quota. So Perak now find themselves at a crucial juncture. The early momentum needs to be maintained here. Previously, the partner who is standing with Mohammad Azik Hayman not able to score the runs. Now Mudita Lakshan is giving a great company, and we have seen some big shots came from this man. So the wicket of Mudita Lakshan is going to be a key here for Penang.
Yes, the spirits are nicely flowing for Mudita as well as Mohammad Azik Hayman, and now they're starting to look very comfortable out there. And Penang will be hoping for something different. This is close. Umpire is in a little bit of a hesitation. Eventually decides in favor of the batter.
Excellent running work between these two batters. Have a look at the thrown game from that fielder. Oh, this is very, very close. But straight umpire says that there is no need to wait for that. And they just moved on to the next delivery. Last ball of this over. Mudita Lakshan is on strike. Coming out of the crease. This man has launched it towards the deep mid wicket. Couple of bounces and straight in the area at the dugout of Perak. Mudita Lakshan moving on to 30s.
30 off just 15, and that was monstrous. Absolutely cleaned up and pure power on display. That kept soaring high up in the air and long over the boundary ropes. The bowler did not know what hit him, and really this is what the damage Mudita Lakshan promises, and he's already starting to deliver. If you allow Mudita Lakshan to settle in, you're inviting trouble, my dear friend, and right now Vishuvarban will realize that very soon. He's up against a very challenging batsman. Peter Isaac has his work cut off, and he's coming into the attack. His previous over gone for 12, and now things are looking very good for Perak here.
That one was absolute carnage from Mudita Lakshan. A big hitting came from him. So Vishuvarban got punished by Mudita Lakshan, the very last ball of that over. And if you slightly noticed, so whenever Vishuvarban comes to bowl, he just concede a boundary or a six. The same instance, the same thing happened in that last over, it seems. So now Perak innings is gaining momentum in the middle. Peter to Mohammad Azik Hayman. They have the fielder out there. Oh, someone is in the trouble, I guess. The miscommunication, the misunderstanding between Mudita Lakshan and Mohammad Azik Hayman. So one has to sacrifice his wicket. I guess it should be a Mohammad Azik Hayman has to go back to the pavilion.
Run out, would you believe it, eventually is the reason for the demise of Mohammad Azik Hayman. He was playing so well, and I have to say that it was a stunning bit of fielding, and the fielder was also lightning fast in terms of throwing it away to the bowler. Just like that, it was cut away so nicely, and Azik Hayman almost disappointingly, like you mentioned, has to sacrifice his wicket. So pressure sometimes leads to this, and sometimes it can lead to a mistake. At this stage, it wasn't required from Perak, but Peter Isaac will once again feel that he's gotten exactly what he needed. And Perak has such a strong lineup that if one goes, another danger walks in. In comes Sharvin. So here he is coming out to bat. He's someone who can take the team to absolute blisters, and right now he will have that kind of intention in his mind.
Sharvin is the new batter right now. Perak have lost a key wicket. It just in case Penang was trying to find a way to break that partnership. Uh, this breakthrough could be the big momentum shift the fielding side was looking for. But why? Why they have thrown away their wicket like that? Sharvin. It's up in the air. It should be the new batter has to be in a trouble. A chance for a catch. Almost the fielder went towards the ball. So this should be a costly miss, I guess.
You're absolutely right to mention Shadwin is an absolute game changer and he can be real danger for Penang here. And that was one of the toughest chances I think that could have promised against the fielder out there. It was up in the air long time and he made a lot of ground, but eventually the ball just pops out of hand. You have to feel for the fielder there. And Peter Isaac disappointingly starts off bowling one more time. But this is the life that can sometimes change momentum, and Sharvin Muniandi is one of those who can capitalize very, very strongly.
No doubt on that. It's a straightforward chance, but it goes down. A catch missed under the clear sky, and that could prove costly. And we all know like what happened in that last game. Selangor, Asnain was dropped on 96. Then he got up a big 100. So that's a big thing happened in that last match. The fielder had ample time to settle under it. So that's obviously an important catch to take the wicket off for Sharvin. So now he is running on luck.
Yes, sometimes fortune favors the brave, and Sharvin Muniandi is also in very good touch. So since he's gotten that life, it will be interesting to see how he continues attacking here. But Peter Isaac is bowling very well out there. Mudita Lakshan has just lost his partner, and now this is allowed Penang to just extract that phase of play from where they can dictate terms.
First ball was a wicket from Peter, and later on there is no big runs conceded by him. So which means this delivery was a legal one and a fair one from Peter. 8 overs have got completed. Perak 66 on the board for the loss of 3 wickets here. So this is the batting summary card of Perak.
Haziq Ayman was brilliant so far, starting the innings, scored 20 runs of 16, but it is the run out that he'll be very disappointed with. And not many runs have come from Amir Khan and Aslam Khan today. So Mudita Lakshan is someone who will feel that a lot of responsibilities relies on his shoulders. He has the very talented Sharvin Muniandi as his partner, and in the middle overs, I have to say that somehow the spinners have gotten a little bit of a control in terms of the scoring rate at the moment. 8.25 is the run rate, and we're almost approaching the halfway stage. So from here, it's quite clinical for Penang to just chip in with some quiet overs or maybe just pick up a wicket somehow.
Vishwarban to Sharvin. Big man launched it. This ball to somewhere else in this ground. What a mighty hit. This is not the Mudita Lakshan, a bowler who gave a bit of luck for the new batter who arrived at that last over, and look at that shot.
He absolutely needed it, and that is one area where he thrives on. He really stamped his name at the ball, and this time he unleashes the beast in himself. That's massive, absolutely huge from Sharvin already, and tried to sneak in a single there. I don't think the umpire will be interested in it because it looked like it had struck him just outside that line.
So this is what you give luck for someone, then they will deal you like this. That shot sends a strong signal to the opposition that the batters aren't going to sit back. With the scoreboard ticking and the confidence building, now Modita Lakshan and Sharvin, they are the key batters for Perak. They can literally turn the entire course of the game from now on. A single from Modita Lakshan. 2 runs.
Yes, to turn that into two, that is good running. Mudita and Sharvin are really the two batters who Perak will hope that they have a very long day here today because they're going there with intent. That's something about these two batters. They're always looking to keep the scoreboard ticking, and there's someone who, if they have a long day, you'll always see them picking up at least 7 to 8 boundaries. So this partnership is exactly what Perak need to steady the innings.
Vishu Urban gets the wicket. I guess you miss high hit, but I think that's a fair delivery. There is no sort of big one from the picture. So the batter seems to be safe. The ball is not going anywhere. But this time,
Yes.
he hits the big shot.
Yes, that one on that occasion just turned it enough, and Mudita was trying to advance down the ground, and I think that extra bit of turn on offer was something that deceived him completely. Eventually, he missed it, and the ball hit his pad, so he was safe to continue. But you can sense that he never is shying away from going for the big shot. One more time, optimistic appeal, really. I think Vishwaruban is at the moment appealing for in and everything, so that is not something that will deceives the very experienced umpires out there in the middle. But nevertheless, you can sense that they're playing with that similar intent, regardless of that very strong bowling effort from Vishwaruban here.
That looked close. The bowler thought he had his man trapped in front, or maybe a feint hits to the keeper. So the first shout came from the wicket keeper. Next one from Vishu Urban. Straight away, the umpire says there is no big indication. 9 overs have got completed. Here, Perak looks good at this position. 76 runs on the board for the loss of 3 wickets.
Penang will be hoping for a little bit of magic here and just something special they need to turn for their side. Hopefully, they can be able to break this partnership because at the moment we are talking about how good these two batters are, and they have started to just keep on scoring here. Edmund Jivaraj is another new bowler introduced into the attack. We know that he is also very handy with the ball in hand.
Mudita Lakshan, he clears this one towards that black screen. Already we have seen some powerful shots from this batter. He's going on a different flow today.
A statement, isn't it? Right from the very first ball, a massive six, and Mudita Lakshan no longer is wasting any kind of time. Clean hit and just enough to take it all the way over that straight boundary line. And Edmund with that is off to a very nervy start because pressure is mounting on him. And Mudita continues. Once again, we've seen that before as well. Off the very first ball, Mudita had picked up a boundary in similar sort of a fashion, but this time there was long off who was able to stop it.
This is exactly the kind of the firepower the team needs at this stage when you have a player at the middle like Mudita Lakshan and Sharvin. So both are powerful batters, can turn the match at any time. Fuller one! Sharvin goes big this time and he finds a fielder near to the boundary rope, so which means this time Sharvin is not going to run on luck, and straight away he lost his wicket. Edmund Jivaraj, after conceding a 6, he picks up a crucial wicket.
Oh, that demands the celebration. The big man Sharvin Muniandi, who has gotten a life before, misses out on a low full toss, really, and he could have smashed it anywhere. Eventually, that attempt proves to be a very costly one. He tried to clear the ropes just like his partner, but it's a risk that did not pay off on that occasion. So, with that, we have a little bit of a drinks break. So, after that, we'll come back live and continue with the progression of this innings.
9.3 is on the progress. Perak, 83 on the board for the loss of 4 wickets. Edmund Jivaraj went for 7 and he picks up a crucial wicket of Sharvin. So Perak find themselves little bit trouble right now, losing an important wicket, and the new batter steps in. Holds a fuller one. The batters at the crease need to find boundaries while ensuring this stability. The space is crucial if Perak want to post a competitive total.
Yes, massive moment with the fall of the wicket of Sharvin here. Penang is 83 for 4, and the wicket of Sharvin really changes everything. He was the right partner for Mudita out there, and just when they were looking dangerous, he has gone back to the pavilion. So Penang really in with a chance to just squeeze out another wicket by just building a few dot deliveries here. And the batter who's joining Mudita Lakshan is Sachita.
So this is going to be a fighting total for Perak. They will probably look for some more runs in this match. Look at that placement from this batter. And the long chase is on for the fielder to stop the ball. Finally, the throw came from him.
Yes, cheeky on that occasion. Sometimes that is going to tell us a lot about the personality of a batter. He is alert to the situation and he knows that sometimes he doesn't really have to go after the bowlers with a lot of power. And on that occasion, he knows that finesse will do the job. And that was on display. We're at the halfway stage and the score on the board is 86 with a loss of 4.
10 overs have got completed here. Perak 86 on the board for the loss of 4 wickets. And this game enters a crucial phase. This is a delicate position with the scoreboard reading 86 on the board, having lost wickets at regular intervals. And yet, sometimes this name boards will disturb the batter's vision. After the drinks break, a perfect time for both the teams to regroup and reaccess their strategy. The fall of Sharvin's wicket just before the break has further increased the pressure on the batting side. Now both batters will have a chat.
I think it's going to be a smart move from the captain of Penang. Peter Isaac is decided to bring back Syed Junaid, who's been outstanding so far by picking up 2 wickets for just 17 runs. He's done that early damage and now he's back to just attack the middle overs. Perak at the moment 86 for 4, and the perfect time to use the smart bowler smartly and just rip through the rest of the lineup. So let's see how this over is able to translate. And here he comes.
Some runs are coming in that area for Perak right from the beginning of this match. The pitch has started to offer some assistance to the spinners and also for the paces. Even Penang, for them, they will be looking to exploit this with tight lines and variations. Syed Junaid is bowling his 3rd over. Thankfully, he picked up 2 crucial wickets in this match, but he went for 18 runs. Right now, being brought up by his skipper. Mudita Lakshan is on 45. 1 hit away from his 50. Played it nicely and just a single that came from Mudita Lakshan.
Turning out to be another brilliant innings from Mudita Lakshan, scoring 46 of 27 and just 1 shot away. He needs to just continue. Lots of overs are remaining, and I think still if he's able to bat as long as he can, Perak will be eyeing a very big total even though they've lost 4 wickets.
Sachita just given the tricky single and he's in trouble. And I guess that's a direct hit came from the fielder. Yes, the straight umpire fingers raised up by him. And look at the celebration. Syed Junaid is happy. Not only him, the entire team and all of them is coming towards him and they are celebrating this wicket. A much needed breakthrough for Penang.
Whenever Syed Junaid Khan is introduced into the attack, something or the other just keeps happening. And on that occasion, really, that slight bit of lapse of concentration is all that was required. Thanks to our producer here, we're seeing the replay, and out of nowhere, a direct hit, getting the run out, and the umpire raises that finger. So brilliant piece of effort in the field, and exactly what they would have wanted. Just for making matters worse, now half of the side is back at the hut.
And I just want to mention this, earlier in this game, we see the another run-out dismissal came in the same match. So 2 run-outs we have witnessed in this match. Both are the unfortunate dismissals. Why the desperate run as to come for Perak? So that miscommunication and also the miscoordination between the two batters, they have lost the 2 wickets. So in the pressure of building a partnership and rotating the strike, 88 for 5 down right now for Perak. Ajib is the new batter.
Ajib Khan is someone who's also picked up a half century in this tournament, and he is also someone who, if given a little bit of time, can go after the bowling. So let's see if he's able to just deliver the goods.
Syed Junaid. These moments often turn the tide of a game, especially when a well-set batter is involved. So now, do you think that is the desperate run for the Perak in that last delivery? They've lost an important wicket.
These are the phases of the game that can actually be thought of either ways. If that run could have been completed, we could have actually said that the running between the wicket has been excellent between the two batters. But on the other hand, I think sometimes some special things just happen at the crease, and that particular run out was just among them. On that occasion, it was a direct hit. How many times do we see that usually happening in cricket? That it's a matter of millimeters that eventually makes a difference. So, just like that, I think it is positive cricket we often appreciate, and that was just a sheer moment of brilliance.
5 down right now, Perak. 89 on the board, even though the scoreboard is slightly moving for them, but they're losing back-to-back wickets at regular intervals. So the batting side finds itself in a delicate position. Boundaries might not come often, but we have seen some big few hits came from Mudita Lakshan. Still, he seems to be that he is a promising character in this match. Syed to Ajib. Shot came from him. So the fielder has stopped it. So which means a single.
Beautiful over turning out to be one more time. Syed Junaid is having such a good impression with the ball in hand today. He's gone for just 3 runs, and in this over, even though a wicket fell, it was off a run out. He has kept things very tight. And for the hopes of Penang, they'll just want to pick up the wicket of Mudita Lakshan as quick as possible. Then we can well and truly say that they'll be in full control of this game. As you can see, lots of overs still remaining, so there's plenty of time.
The last ball, they didn't go for the run, so which means a dot delivery from Syed Junaid. So there is a slight change in the fielding. Also, maybe the fielder needs to at a refreshing point. The game awareness, teaching a recovery through the meaningful singles. Last ball to go in this over. Are they gone for the run or not? No, it seems so, which means another dot to finish off this over. 11 overs have got completed. 89 on the board for the loss of 5 wickets, Perak. Mudita Lakshan, 47 of 28 with 89 runs on the board. Perak, the first 60 balls contest have got over. From here, it's a test of depth and temperament. If the current batters can build a stable partnership, they should aim for 7 or 8 runs per over. Modita Lakshan goes big this time. Fell short. So with that boundary, he gets the 50 in style in this big game.
What an innings this is turning out to be for Mudita. One more outing and one more brilliant knock, but this time under a little bit of pressure. He's kept the innings together for Perak and he's mixed the caution with a lot of aggression as well. So with that boundary, he's kept the scoreboard ticking as well. Although the wicket has just fallen at the other end, Mudita Lakshan continues with his fearless approach and his batting with a handy strike rate of 175. And he's someone who's such a good soul that I have massive respect for. And like that, he's continuing and he cuts that away straight to the fielder. Would you believe it? There's a misfield just to help his cause. There is some ground fielding done by the cover fielder, and that is good enough for a couple of runs.
Yes, that definitely a good piece of running effort from Mudita Lakshan and Ajib. They want that runs badly. Mudita brings up a well-made half century in this game, a knock of class and control under pressure. He kept his team alive in this beautiful setup. That again, Mudita Lakshan given the strike to Ajib. So the pressure shifts completely to the batter right now. Bowls the leg side, a full toss one. Is it ball hitting the trees? A big six came for Ajib.
It was an absolute gift that was served on a platter. You can't do that against someone like Ajab Khan, who's a man full of power and authority. And just like that, the opportunity arose asking to be punished, and he smashed it into the leg side for a massive six. So this is not the over that Penang would have wanted. Already turning out to be very expensive, 13 in it, and he needs to just finish it with a little bit of calmness here. Because if you allow someone like Ajab Khan to settle in, you're asking for trouble.
Ajib makes a bold statement at the crease with a massive six. Is he gone for the bigger one or not? This time towards the deep mid wicket. Another mighty hit from Ajib. He just waited for the delivery. Look at the way he picks up. What a six.
Oh, he's cutting loose here. Now that he's sensing some sort of a rhythm in his way, he is not letting anything pass by. Picks up that length of the ball very, very quickly, understands that it's slightly shorter, and gets into a very strong position by smacking it over deep mid wicket. Consecutive sixes and turning out to be a very expensive one for Edmund Jivaraj here.
Two powerful batters at the middle right now. Ajib, 12 of 4. Cuts towards the offside. The batter is clearly in top form, showing no hesitation in taking the aerial route. With that single, 12 overs have got completed. Perak 3 digits on the board, 109 for the loss of 5 wickets. These big hits not only boost the scoreboard but also build the pressure on the bowlers, forcing them to rethink their strategy. With every six, the momentum tilts in favor of the batting side, setting the stage for a big total. It seems to be looks like Mudita Lakshan is turning out to be Andrew Russell of Perak. He's looking at that shape only. 54 of 31. Ajib 13 of 5. Ajib goes bigger and bigger this time, but finally there is a chance for the fielder to take that catch, I guess, and you can see that slight frustration in the face of Peter.
Yes, Peter Isaac is creating the chances, but it has been put down. That could prove to be very costly one more time again, because he was in with a chance to clear the very dangerous Ajab Khan. And you mentioned Mudita Lakshan is also going very strongly against this bowling attack. And just like that, they'll be continuing to exert their dominance. The run rate is also flowing. It is 9.04, and at the moment things are looking very gloomy for Penang if they don't do their fielding right.
Obviously, in this same tournament, we have seen that Kuala Lumpur and the respective of the other teams maintained to post 250 plus scores. So here in this track, we see that Perak is already 111 on the board for the loss of 5 wickets. 12.2 is on the progress. Definitely, if these two batters were at the middle for the next few overs, then it will be a different task for Penang. A single.
Ajab Khan is someone who's so promising. He's off to a flyer one more time here today. Quickly moves on to 15 of just 7 deliveries. And he has taken no time at all to settle in, and he's striking the ball quite strongly. So that catch should have really been taken. And now he is finding a very suitable partner in Mudita Lakshman. And if they're able to continue in this kind of a fashion, then I think even a score of 190 to 200 is on the cards here.
In that area, so he's stronger playing those shots and getting that runs. The next few overs, as I've mentioned earlier, will be very, very critical if the batters can maintain this momentum and find boundaries consistently. Mudita Lakshan, 57 of 33. Peter just bowled a little bit shorter and given a lot of room for Mudita Lakshan to get that boundary.
Once again demonstrating how good of a judge he is of picking length. Just on that occasion, Peter Isaac with that diagonal run up pitches the ball short and wide, and it was asking for punishment and given by Mudita. Beautifully played and always in control. And he's someone who's picking the gaps with so much of ease. He's taken control of this innings, and the innings is definitely revolving around Mudita at the moment.
Guided nicely in that area. The surface was clean for them to get those runs. And of course, the weather is good here. 13 overs of got completed, 120 for the loss of 5 wickets.
If you look at that batting card, it was all started by Muhammad Haziq Aiman, who was, of course, run out. And since then, of the other batters, only Mudita Lakshan has stood up to the occasion. He's single-handedly doing a lot of damage. Right now, a good cameo is coming in from Ajab Khan, and he will want to make sure he stays there for as long as possible. 7 more overs are remaining, and I'm just starting to wonder how much more that they can push this innings forward to. If you look at that extras column, just 4 runs off it. So that really shows that Penang is doing a good job in terms of bowling with discipline, but it's just that they haven't picked up wickets as regularly as they would have wanted, given that Perak has lost 5 wickets. Here, another partnership is starting to brew, and right now in comes Bilal Hasrat. I'm hoping that his ankle is okay, because once he starts delivering that pressure on that landing foot, it can often cause the re-arrival of that pain. So, with the hopes that Bilal Hazrat is fit and fine, he's ready at the top of the bowling mark.
The batting side will now to accelerate further in the final 7 overs, eyeing a total that plus pressure on Penang. 13 overs have got completed here, 120 already on the board for the loss of 5 wickets. The momentum is slowly shifting the way. Here comes Bilal. The ball is third over. Fuller one right on the slot and keeping and hitting the harder areas for the batter.
Bilal Hasrat is coming back into the attack even under a little bit of an injury concern, but look at the way he's bowling. There is still serious pace on offer, and now he's already giving me an impression that that particular last delivery almost hurried the batter, and that is why he was in no position to play it towards the offside. So this is what sometimes extra pace is able to do. Sometimes things can happen out of the ordinary and make life just that little bit difficult for even set batters like Mudita Lakshan and Ajab Khan.
That's a good point that you have mentioned. The captain trust is clear and all the eyes are on him, whether the bowler can find his rhythm back or not. If he delivers a tight over, It could tilt the balance back, but the batters will surely look to test his moment early on. Just 2 singles so far in this over.
Starts off with a little bit of a promise, but I can assure you, if Ajab Khan has anything in his slot, that ball is going to travel, because with the pace that Bilal Hasrat is operating with, any sort of a connection with that power blended in by Ajab Khan can take the ball towards the boundary line. So he's up and ready, has a very good stance against the faster bowlers, and here is Bilal Hasrat steaming in.
Mistimed shot, but not got connected properly. But he gets that boundary. He will be happy on getting that boundary. 13.3 is on the progress, and have a look at that shot.
I don't think Ajab Khan relies on power. I just spoke about it before. That was absolutely smoked away to long off with absolute disdain and authority, almost as if he was leaning for that one, and smacked it away quite strongly. That is going to send the message to someone like Bilal Hazrat, and I think is going to be kept on his toes. Cannot allow any kind of whip to Ajab Khan here.
Boundary on the last ball, and this is good comeback from Bilal, getting that bounce again. This is the advantage of Bilal, this kind of momentum.
A good delivery after conceding that boundary. He really has that little bit of a carry of the surface. I think he takes full advantage of his height. He's one of the tallest fast bowlers lurking around, and that is what the mentality of the fast bowlers are often talked about. You know that they are very competitive, and I can assure you this, none of the fast bowlers across the globe likes to be hit.
Used it very well. It goes high in the air, but just have to check that it clears the boundary ropes, and the straight umpire indication says that that's a maximum. A big hit, but for the very first time, if we see that the ball touches right on the bat, yes, this is a 6.
Oh, that was absolutely smashed into the stratosphere. That's how high the ball in the air, but no chance for anyone really, just lurking around that boundary line. They were just watching it go all the way because of that sheer power behind that shot. So with that, Ajab Khan is lighting up the arena. BAYUEMAS Oval is coming back to its life, and once he starts to play in that fashion, he looks absolutely unstoppable.
This is great batting after hitting a 6 and immediately putting the presence of mind to go for that single. This has to be there, and it has to get continue for Perak. 14 overs got completed, 133 for the loss of 5 wickets here, Perak.
I think I can understand the decision of Peter Isaac to bring back someone like Bilal Hazrat. He's someone with that uncanny express pace, and especially with so many spinners operating out there in the middle, that could have just shuffled things up in that fashion a little bit towards the advantage of Penang. But on that aspect, Penang will feel that Ajab Khan has not really played in the way that they would have planned. He's really looking to just smack and hit everything that is in his area. So with that, he's moved on to 27 of 12. And now it looks like Mudita Lakshan is playing a supporting role with his 64 of 36.
133 for the loss of 5 wickets here. A short ball tempted by Vishuvarban. Ajib handled it nicely at this stage of innings. The batters are displaying a top quality cricketing shots, and earlier we could see that one came from Ajib. Now Mudita Lakshan, 64 of 36. He's on strike. He's having that great technique, timing and placement, whether it's elegant cow drives, delicate cuts. He will handle it. So Vishuvarban, again he feels that pressure. It's a wide delivery came from him.
Ajab Khan is already giving a very tough competition to Mudita Lakshan here, and Mudita has also made us feel his presence today. But he's just so classy in his approach. I am highly impressed by this man in this tournament. At the moment, Vishuvarban will have to tighten things up, and he needs to really ensure that he doesn't leak too many runs, because with that run rate of 9.49. I think they'll be just trying to accelerate even further and try to score beyond 200.
Ajib wants to tell something to all of the spectators here with his big, powerful shots, but I think hopefully he's safe. The ball has been landed. That's a clean hit. So he's moving on to 29, which means he is taking as many advantage and risk possible in this game at this moment.
Dealing in singles in this over, so he's managed to keep things relatively quiet, and the captain Peter Isaac will be just happy with how things are transpiring at this moment, almost approaching the back end of the game, and this is when the bowlers will just look to leave that little bit of a mark in terms of dominating the scoring rate of the batters. Ajab Khan now on strike, shuffling across and trying to just play it on the leg side, and look at that, effortless on that occasion. We've seen him deal with a lot of power, but this time he just places that away from the two fielders at long on and long off, almost bisecting them to perfection here. It was tantalizingly close, but eventually he's unable to stop it.
He just adjusted himself at the crease and immediately went for the ball and playing that shot beautifully. So a boundary on the last ball. 142 on the board for the loss of 5 wickets here. Last ball to bowl from Vishu Verben. Oh, chance for someone to go and stop the ball, and they have the fielder out there in that area. So which means, I guess, it's a single to finish off this over. 15 overs have got completed. Perak 143 on the board for the loss of 5 wickets.
On that occasion, Vishwaruben would have felt that he is in with a chance, but I have to say that Ajab Khan is approaching this innings in a very fearless sort of a fashion. Sometimes the ball might be sailing in the air, but that's the kind of cricket Ajab Khan plays. He has no hesitation, he's playing with intent, and he's really willing to take the risk in just some pursuit of extra runs. So really tells us a lot about his personality. He's a team man. He doesn't pay that price on his wicket. He just wants to up the scoring rate. And sometimes when you play that kind of a game, the stats doesn't reflect how good you are, but you have to admire the courage.
This is what impact batting looks like, changing the course of the game in a matter of overs. Ajib and Mudita Lakshan, what a partnership this is turning out to be for them. And look at the contribution. Ajib 34 of 16, Mudita 66 of 38. Edmund Jivraj, Ajib is telling a different story in this match with his powerful shots.
At the moment, we have to start decoding the spinners and decide for ourselves if it has really worked in favor of Penang or not. Because if you look at it today, plenty of spinners were brought into the attack, just as we see this delivery. And almost as if the batter predicted where the ball is going to pitch, he was ready for that occasion, and once again smashes it straight down the ground for the 4th six of the day from Mudita Lakshan.
That's a monstrous hit straight out of the screws. And he is not just clearing the rope, he is clearing the darts. Danced down the track and just launched it into the orbit. You just have to think like whether that it's a stand and deliver shot from Mudita Lakshan. Just a single and a 6. So spinner under fire, and that's gone into the night sky.
I was just trying to make a comment about how the spinners have operated today. Vishwaruben has gone for 39 in his 4, and Peter Isaac was gone for 27, and now Edmund Shivaran is once again smoked away on the leg side. When I was about to make the comment that he's been expensive, he will add 6 more to the tally because of that stunning stroke play from Mudita Lakshan one more time.
Some back-to-back sixes in this game, and also in this over. He is turning this pitch into a launch pad. The bowler tossed it up, and the batter said, "Thank you, boss," sending it soaring over the ropes. Once again, that's power, precision, and pure intent. Not for the very first time that we could see that there is a change in the ball. So one hit at a time. Can the bowler find an answer, or is this turning into a 6-hitting exhibition? And we were expecting some rain. but it's a raining sixes here at this venue. Mudita Lakshan 78 of 40.
I think that last shot is definitely going to make its way for the highlight reels. That was a 6 over square leg area, and I think the way that the cameraman had approached it, we have to give him credit. It was almost scenic. The ball was hovering over that blue sky with the clouds as well, and almost made it look picture perfect. So I think if Mudita Lakshan goes back and watches this, I'll be very happy because the crowd are definitely very pleased with his approach.
Fell short. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. So which means a boundary for Mudita Lakshan. Already 2 sixes in this over. Now Edmund Jivraj not able to do anything.
Yes, short pitch delivery. He was alert to the situation. Use of the feet is perfect one more time. And he's played that square shots very nicely today. So 2 sixes and boundary like you mentioned. And look at the score at the moment. He's quickly taken the side to 160. And his personal score is once again 82. And now just sneakily I'll ask that question. Is he 18 shy of the second 100?
And look at that clarity in his shots. Some powerful grit and determination towards the game of cricket. This is destruction, total destruction from Mudita Lakshan. So he says that, okay, whoever bowls to me, definitely I will hammer them.
That occasion nicely clipped away towards that mid-wicket area. It's been another boundary, almost as if he's eyeing for anything in his zone to be smashed across that area. It's giving me an impression that he owns that, and he's really turning out the heat here. Moves on to 86 of 42, and right now things are looking very gloomy for Penang. Started off with a lot of promise, and right now not really finding an idea to be able to stop the scoring rate of Mudita Lakshan here.
What an innings. This has been a calm and calculated and explosive when needed. He's been the backbone of this Perak innings, Mudita Lakshan. 88 of 43. All eyes on him. And he's anchoring one end while finding the boundaries with ease. So Ajib is giving a great company to Mudita Lakshan. So 16 overs have got completed, 166 for the loss of 5 wickets.
This is turning out to be the partnership that they would have hoped for at the moment. They have stitched together 78 crucial runs, and just when half of the side was back at the score of just 88, what has transpired for Perak here. This is why we mentioned at the start of this game that this is one of the most dangerous batting order that is here in the tournament. No look shot this time, but unfortunately he's found the fielder in the deep. I was mentioning about how good this partnership has blossomed, and out of nowhere it is the captain Peter Isaac, who hadn't featured among the wickets today, but now he gets the breakthrough.
Definitely, you might be seeing that, okay, where to bowl for this particular batter. And finally, he finds the brilliant way to get this batter out. Ajib, no proper timing in that shot. So straight away, they have the 2 fielders out there towards the deep mid wicket. And finally, one man takes a simple catch. And he had got that sharp presence of mind. So wicket in this very first ball of this over. He's bowling his last over. Peter takes up a crucial wicket. Ajib gone. Now the new batter has to come and join in this company with Mudita Lakshan.
Peter Isaac was very smart there. I think he was alert that someone like Ajib Khan is really going to target that mid-wicket area, especially at this part of this innings. And he just changed that a little bit. Just the speed was not on offer for Ajib Khan to get hold of. But I think Ajib Khan did not really try to overhit it. And he just placed it across towards mid-wicket. And that is why he's gone back to the pavilion. So in comes the left-hander, Lahiru Darshana. He's looking for some runs here. because in this tournament so far, the bat has not really clicked for him. So he's now one more time partnering Mudita Lakshan. We've seen it before. When Mudita was approaching his 100, he came out to bat. And in that previous occasion, he managed to score 2 runs. So plenty of overs remaining. He just needs to bat as long as he can and support Mudita Lakshan well here.
First ball, a wicket for Peter. Lahiru Darsana, so which means a right-left combination here. Always that creates a problem for the bowler to bowl. So first ball, single on the board for Lahiru Darsana. Mudita Lakshan will get a strike right now.
Interesting passage of play. Will Mudita Lakshan decide to just be a little bit watchful, or will he just continue riding that good form that he's in? At the moment, a young batter in Lahiru Darshana has joined him, and right now he's up against Peter Isaac, who takes a little bit of time in that delivery, and that is nicely placed away on the offside. Beautifully cut away for just a couple of runs on that occasion.
Each and every ball Mudita Lakshan plays, will get to see that lot of confidence and power in his game. He's got that ability, has got that skill, and putting a lot of workload in this game to get this good total on the scoreboard. 90 already for Mudita. Played in the gap. Two fielders have got the chase to stop the ball. Finally, one wins the race. Two for Mudita Lakshan.
This is why such a player is so important in any form of the game. Mudita Lakshan is not one of those who plays with those power shots only. He relies a lot on timing, and his placement has been fantastic as well. So with that, he moves on to the nervous 90s that we often talk about. But he's a man full of confidence. He's already done it before in this tournament. So let's see if he gets those 8 runs or not.
The decent stroke played by this batter, Lahiru Darsana. It's time for him to give the same support. The earlier batter, which was doing the same duty with Mudita Lakshan. 17 overs have got completed. 172 for the loss of 6 wickets here, Perak. Mudita Lakshan is playing a gem of an innings here in this match. 93 of 47. Earlier, we have witnessed 100 came from Selangor batter Asnain. Today, will it be another day for another player? 172.
I think, John, we've been very lucky for the batters out there today. And if Mudita Lakshan gets 100, I think they should be thanking us somehow. Don't you think so?
Definitely. So it's not about the luck, but pure. He's a great timer of the ball. We have seen his game, and he should be a deserving one. Full toss. Mudita Lakshan says that, okay, with this boundary, I will get my 100 in style. Not only Asnain, Mudita Lakshan is also can able to do this. So he will show his bat and helmet towards the dugout.
With that boundary, he's actually moved on to 97. So I think he has still 3 runs remaining for that milestone. But these are quite tentative times. Anything can still happen. So he still has to just be watchful slightly for a bit longer. But this has been a magnificent innings already. It's been of that highest quality, and still continuing to show us what a masterclass this has been in terms of pacing a perfect T20 knock.
Yes, you're right. So once it's set, he can unleash with some powerful strokes. He's on 97 on facing a 50. Lokman Hakim. They have introduced a new bowler to restrict the runs here. 97 of 51. Mudita Lakshan pops out of the crease. And in that gap, he got some runs.
This has been a brilliant innings. He hasn't just slogged his way out of trouble, he's built his innings with real intelligence, and the stroke play today from that man was absolutely stunning. I'm still a believer of sometimes luck and fortune favoring your way, but I think Mudita Lakshan is someone who's shown that hard work will pay off, and eventually, if you trust your skills, if you back it up with some determination, that can often result for the goods for your side as well. He came out to bat one more time when he was in a little bit of trouble, but right now he has just dragged his side back into a position of comfort.
No big run in the last ball, so which means 18 overs have got completed. Mudita Lakshan is still on 98. Everyone are waiting. 177 for the loss of 6 wickets here after the completion of 18 overs.
Peter Isaac just searching for one more bowler who can step up to the occasion, and 2 more overs remaining. I think Perak will be eyeing to get as many as possible and perhaps just want to be around that score of 200. Often it allows the teams to be in some kind of a psychological advantage. And just now we have received some news from the center because of slow over rate. I think one more fielder has been called inside the 30-yard circle. So this is going to make life a little bit easier for the two batters out there, especially given this is the moment in the game where the batters are trying to get as many as possible. And in it comes Syed Junaid, starts off with a beautiful slower delivery and just beats that outside edge.
Mudita Lakshan has to be very, very safe at this point. So he played this game right from the beginning. Just a couple of runs away from a magnificent century, but great timing and calculated aggression have defined his innings. He's just waiting for his moment, from finding the gaps early on to now clearing the ropes with ease. Syed Junaid to Mudita Lakshan.
Never easy against someone like Syed Junaid, especially with the kind of control he has with his ball. And to turn that into 2, that is fantastic running. For a moment I thought it will only be a single, but what an innings this has been. 100 of just 54 deliveries. He's mixed that classy stroke play with fearless intent, and never once he has lost his shape. Never once he has swung the bat blindly, and every boundary he's picked, it's been so calculated. Almost it reminds me of someone like Virat Kohli in terms of his authority and control of the game.
What an innings. 8 boundaries and 5 sixes, Mudita Lakshan. The bat goes up, the helmet comes off, and the rightly so. This has been an innings to remember. A perfect blend of patience and power. Everything full of one. This time Mudita Lakshan goes big. He says, I have got the license to kill this ball. And I think more work for the spectators to go and search this ball.
Absolutely no slowing down now after the milestone. It is the first ball he faces after completing it, and absolutely smokes it away. Launches it for such a long distance. It is the mindset that he has that I've mentioned our viewers throughout this game. He's done it before as well, and this is his 2nd century in the tournament. Really lighting it up, and now one of the contenders for the best batters of the tournament, really.
How many balls they will change in a match? That was a massive one. The ball was disappeared into the night sky. Such was the power and timing on that hit. The ball has sailed went behind the boundary ropes and into the stands. When a batter strikes the ball that cleanly, so if you see a 6 like his 6 that has been hit by the batter, that will be like, he is already on a total control. One more hit from Mudita Lakshan, this time in the different zone. So the bowler has been got confused right now what to do.
He's absolutely cutting it loose at the moment, and I think you cannot keep the crowd at the heart of their seats any longer. What a shot that is over the top of the infield. Almost knows where exactly each of the fielders are, and he's picking the gaps at will. two more deliveries remaining now, and in this over of Syed Junaid Khan, he's been expensive for the first time in the game today. He was so economical at the previous three deliveries, and right now, even someone of his caliber has started to go for runs. Mudita Lakshan moves on to 110, and one more shot. This time, he's playing with the emotions of the bowlers of Penang, picks his spot, and clears mid wicket with absolute ease.
You have already crossed that 100 mark, was something special, but now have a look at that shot. A fuller one, timed it perfectly, and everyone are literally appreciating this innings of Mudita Lakshan, turning out to be a consistent performer, no doubt in that. Once again, another 100, but it literally helps the entire team. Last ball of this over, already 2-6 and a boundary. Beautifully bowled by Syed Junaid to stop something which is happening hell at the middle. 19 overs have got completed. 196 for the loss of 6 wickets, Perak.
We were discussing what could be a good score, and at one stage it looked like even 170 and 180 is going to be something that Perak will be happy with. But at the start of the innings, we mentioned how this batting lineup is such a power packed one. They're full of big hitters, they're full of classy batters as well. And if one of them does not step up to the occasion, the other finds a reason to do so. And today it was once again but a similar face. Mudita Lakshan has moved on to 117 of just 58 deliveries.
Last over, 6 balls. Perak, 196 for the loss of 6 wickets. But the last 2 to 3 overs, it's been a complete package. Power packed shots that came from Mudita Lakshan. 117 of 58. The dugout appreciated him. What a cracking game it has been so far. With just 6 balls to go, the batters will be looking to squeeze every run possible. Bilal to Mudita Lakshan.
I know that the runs are already bored, and at the moment, Perak is looking very comfortable with 196 on the scorecard. But I still feel this is a very interesting contest. Bilal Hazrat, with his express pace, up against someone who's in absolutely gorgeous form like Mudita Lakshan. This is going to be a very interesting over just for our viewers, because you always want a steaming fast bowler against a classy batter, and then just have a look at how good the match progresses. So here is Bilal Hazrat, and sounded good off the bat, but looks like eventually he didn't quite time it, or maybe got a little bit of a hand in the process. Nevertheless, it's a single to take him off the strike and bring in Lahiru Darshana. Starts off very nicely here by Bilal Hazrat.
Mudita Lakshan is still out there blazing, and with the touch, the 200 mark for a Perak. So bowling side will pull things back with the tight in the final few deliveries which is left for them to bowl in this game. Lahiru Darsana is on strike. Bilal to bowl. Oh, beautifully bowled by Bilal on the body of Lahiru Darsana. He feels the pressure, and I guess that hit hurted him a lot.
Oh, yes, if you just have a look at that replay, that is nasty. He's been stuck on that unprotected part of the leg where usually there's no padding, and he's gone down straight away. Mudita was interested to sneak in a single there, but he was under tremendous pain. So you could almost hear the thud from up here, and the physio is running in to just have a quick check on him. A strong man like Lahiru Darshana has eventually decided to send him back, but these are the ones that can eventually sting you a lot after the game is completed. So with that, Bilal is eventually very happy. He's given away 2 dots and just a single in his first three deliveries so far, rather, and he will want to finish off with a very good statement here. At the moment, he's considered 27, hasn't picked up a wicket, and that's the area which he wants some alteration.
Just when the final over is already building up and it gets a big leading edge, Lahiru Darsana has to be in trouble. but the ball landed safely. But what was that from the fielder? Just a simple reaction.
Quite disappointing, really. It was the raw pace of Bilal Hazrat almost doing the trick one more time. On that occasion, it really hurried him, and he really did not have the time to adjust. The catch should have been taken, and really, Bilal Hazrat deservingly would have picked up a wicket here. But nevertheless, he's bowling with some serious hit and some serious intent, and he will have two more deliveries to leave that lasting impression. Can he deliver a wicket here? And can he pick up the wicket of Mudita Lakshan, who, after scoring 100, let me remind you, has not gotten out so far?
Oh, Bilal, trouble, Mudita Lakshan. So the non-striker is in trouble. Chance for Bilal to hit the stumps. Directed opportunity. Why he missed it?
Such a good delivery one more time, this time against Mudita. And you can see the shock in his face almost. Decides to not run at that, almost producing a chance at the non strikers then. But you don't expect Bilal to just give away the game so easily, do you? He hits you and he really takes the breath away. So Mudita will be in a little bit of a discomfort, but let's see if he can put out that final blow. Here's Bilal charging in, and launches that up in the air. Bilal is deservingly looking for a wicket. Fielder is underneath, and finally, Mudita has to go back to the pavilion, but it is off the last ball. So eventually, Perak does not go on to score 200, and they're just kept quiet before reaching there. They miss it out by just 2 runs, but eventually, we have to say this has been a very good comeback from Perak today.
That's a much needed wicket for Bilal. Finally, he deserves for getting that wicket. So this is the batting summary card of Perak. Look at that opening start that came from Asik, 20 of 16, and then comes the Mudita Lakshan and Sharbin Muniandi were literally trying to post a little bit of a total during the middle overs. And Ajib Khan with his powerful shots, 35 of 18, and big contribution came from Mudita Lakshan. He scored 118 of 62, some blistering shots and powerful sixes that we have seen. Only just 5 extras bowled by their opponent today. So it's going to be a big, interesting one from Penang. Are they able to going to get this 200, which means 199 from 20 overs? So we just have to check. Well, we come back. We will be now moving on to the break. This is the bowling summary card of Penang. 6 bowlers has been introduced by Penang. It's been a tidy spell from Bilal Azrad and Syed Junaid Khan, Vishwaruban Kumar, and Syed Junaid Khan, who picks up 2 wickets. So don't go anywhere. We will be back in another few minutes. 199 will be the ask for Penang.
Hello and welcome everyone. And now the chase begins. It is Penang who have a target of 199, so one shot of 200 that they will be coming out to chase. They're sending out Mushtaq, one of their very best, alongside the captain Peter Isaac. Mushtaq is riding some good form. Let me remind our viewers against what he has done for Kuala Lumpur's match. So right now he will be just trying to take the attack on from ball one. And Peter Isaac is one of the most formidable names that Malaysia domestic has to offer. He has plenty of experience, lots of runs, and he's someone who can really lead from the very front. So I can assure our viewers, if this pair just gets going, Penang truly has a lot of firepowers that can start hunting this target much more quickly than even Perak will be anticipating. So starting with the new ball will be Lahiru Darshana, and he's also another bowler who gets plenty of bounce from this surface of biomass. So with that, at a very interesting phase, we are almost ready for the first ball, but looks like Peter Isaac is not ready. So now that the nerves are settled in, Lahiru has the new ball in hand for Perak, and it is Peter on strike. Here's the first ball, and almost trying to play it on the gap across the leg side, and the timing is just a little bit missing to start things off. But Lahiru Darshana is right on the money, really. He's usually someone who likes to operate with that new ball, and if he hits that right areas, I think he'll be able to set the tone early for his side. Amir Khan Malik is happy to just introduce a slip fielder as well. So some attacking captaincy to start off proceedings here. And here is Lahiru Darshana. This time nicely flicked away, but doesn't pick up the gap in the field. So good looking shot, allows a single to be taken, but could have been much more if he was just nicely able to pierce a gap over here. You can hear that the fielding team is making a lot of noise and they're looking very confident. They should be, especially if one of your teammate has picked up 100, you're always filled up with happiness. Just like that, starts off with a very good looking delivery, but surprisingly, the ball really does not have that much of bounce on offer when Lahiru Darshana is operating. Oftentimes, we have seen that the pitch suddenly, especially in the afternoon game, starts behaving slightly different. And that's when batting can be a little bit tricky. And we know that they're chasing a very big total. At the moment, they require 198 runs with a required run rate of 10.15. So, really does not have enough time to be watchful. One more time, full demonstration of what I mentioned before. The ball is not even going over the stump by pitching just short of a full length. It's quite an interesting start from Lahiru Darshana here. And with that, it is looking a little bit difficult. When someone like Bilal Hazrat was bowling, I felt it was quite good. He was getting a lot of extraction from this pitch. But this time, it is looking a little bit difficult. I know we're still in the early phase, and right now, Lahiru Darshana starting to look like a little bit deceptive. Beautifully bowled this time. Lahiru Darshana one more time is bowling against someone like Mushtaq Ahmed, and right now he's been able to keep him very quiet. So far, this has been a quality new ball bowling from Lahiru. He has already delivered a cluster of dots here, and this is really starting to build pressure. And talk about pressure, that is fearless approach. Sweet timing on that occasion, and didn't even try to hit it too much with power. And just when he placed it over the top of the infield, it is a boundary that he's picked up. So just when things were looking very good for Perak with the first over, it is the start that they needed. That's the completion of the first over. In spite of that boundary, only 5 runs coming off it. And now They will be starting to introduce something different here. Looks like we have usually seen Amir Khan Malik operate in this phase of the game, but at the moment he has decided not to bring himself into the attack here. It's the introduction of spin from the other end, and this can just work both ways. I think in the power play sometimes it can be a little bit difficult for the spinners to operate because they have just two fielders in the boundary to work with. On the other hand, someone like Sachita, who usually flights the ball a lot and bowls with subtle variation, he can often extract that little bit of turn that create a little bit of doubt in the mind of the batters. Peter Isaac is on strike. He's someone who plays spin very well. He's an aggressive batter, and right now he's facing the leg spin of Sachita. Starts off with a good length delivery, and there's that little bit of turn on offer as well. So it's a dot ball, but Peter for a moment thought that maybe he will be able to cut that away into the gap and for a boundary, but that wasn't to be. Trying to create some room on the leg side, and he's able to get the gap. The chase is on. Eventually, it's that lightning fast outfield from BAYUEMAS Oval that is on full display here. Picks up a boundary, and that is the perfect result if you can blend power and placement together. So a good looking shot by dragging that from outside the off stump. He has placed it away nicely towards the gap. Peter Isaac is someone who relies a lot on momentum, and as a captain, he has that responsibility of delivering from that word go. He was good with the ball today, and now he's looking in some fine touch with the bat as well. After conceding a boundary, that's a dot ball, and looking like he's able to get a grip of the game. Once again, just trying to pick up a little bit of room, and this time not in the most convincing fashion. That's a leading edge, but the ball will race away for another boundary. He will not be complaining as long as the boundaries keep coming. And this is the perfect time for me to welcome John back up here at the com box. Welcome back and good afternoon, John.
Thank you so much, Abrara, for welcoming me. So, as I've mentioned earlier in the first innings, Penang now they need this chase on, and we see that Peter is moving on to 9 of 6 and 13 runs is already on the board for Penang. This is absolutely a good start. Sachita is the bowler. Short ball, just guided nicely and played towards the fielder.
I have seen left-arm spinners and traditional off-spinners operate in the power play, but it has been quite an optimistic introduction from Amir Khan Malik to bring in Sachita at the completion of the first over. And so far, he's gone for 9 runs, but he's looking to extract some turn of this pitch. And that's really the last ball was really something that maybe Amir Khan Malik expects from Sachita to be delivered. And with 9 runs of this over, I think we have to say that Penang is off to a good start with Mushtaq Ahmed and Peter Isaac still out there and continuing just the style of cricket that they're known to play.
The chase is underway for Penang. Begin with the steady rhythm. The openers aren't rushing, but they're showcasing that clear intent, rotating the strike and putting away the bad balls and keeping the scoreboard ticking in a target as tall as 199 from 20 overs. The key lies in maintaining the wickets early, and surely they will be trying to build this partnership. They should not lose wickets. That will be the key for Penang. Peter, 10 of 7, and Mushtaq, 4 of 5. Lahiru Darsana is the bowler. Bowled the first over. He last went for 5 runs. So if Penang can build partnerships and accelerate at the right moment, this chase is definitely on for them. Now the batter is ready. Peter is on strike. It's straight in the gap. Two fielders We're on the chase, and finally the ball wins the race. So it's a boundary for Penang.
A very good looking shot from Peter Isaac, almost dismissive of the efforts of Lahiru. It was a glorious stroke and gave an opportunity for the fielders to just chase it. Eventually, as clean as you like, he did not bother running for it because he was trusting his timing. Excellent start from Peter Isaac already. Quickly moves on to 14 of just 8 deliveries.
Runs has to come for Penang. That is the only intent they will have in their mind right now. Just look at the placement again, this time in the different region. So finding the gaps, Penang are finding the rhythm also now as the runs begin to flow smoothly.
Lahiru is someone who started off with a brilliant fashion, and surprisingly, he was not really extracting a lot of bounce when he was pitching that ball on that good length. So, in that previous over, he was hitting that nagging length and not really giving any kind of width for the batters to operate with. But in this over, he's been a touch fuller, and that is where Peter Isaac was looking to capitalize. After that, boundary, I think he's coming back much better. He's bowled two dot deliveries on the dot.
This kind of momentum has to be there for them early in a high chase like this. Exactly what's needed for Penang. And Abrar, as I've mentioned earlier, before this game gets started, Kuala Lumpur is already waiting at their list. So if Penang loses this game, then it's going to be a doors open for Kuala Lumpur. So it's a must-win game for Penang. Good shot played by this batter, definitely. So this is the power play. Obviously, they will find some runs.
One more time, we're seeing excellent placement, and he was almost dragging that away. So it is really showing that the batters are now starting to just trust their shots a little bit more. So making life difficult for someone like Lahiru Darshana, and he's already gone for 6 runs in this over. Two more deliveries remaining. He needs to just somehow assert some kind of dominance into this bowling rhythm.
Change of pace from Lahiru Darsana. Bowls a little bit of the slower delivery. And we will expect that these two batters, Peter and Mushtaq, definitely they will be going for some amount of runs inside this power play. So this is the key factor right now as the inning progress. The batters are beginning to express themselves to coming at the steady pace and scoreboard ticking. It is a perfect time for this batter to score the runs. So which means a dot delivery. The last ball bowled by Lahiru Darsana. 3 overs have got completed. Penang 20 runs on the board without losing any wicket.
Those last couple of deliveries were just a fraction short of perfect. He was eyeing for that Yorker, and although it was not exactly Yorker, but it was always going to go underneath the bat. And with those couple of deliveries, I think Peter Isaac is just a bit concerned about the toe end of the bat. And right now, he's a little bit unhappy given the way he started. He's not yet able to express himself out there. 3 overs done, 20 without loss, and really when you're chasing a total of 198, you want to start off in flourishing fashion, but that is not what has happened. So we have to give credit to Perak here. They're trying to just contain these two batters, and maybe that false shot will be around that corner.
Sachita to bowl Mushtaq, a spinner inside the power play. Not for the very first time, we see how they will uh, proceed for the proper batters. The stroke play has been elegant, it assertive. Played at the offside. Surely will get the boundary, Mushtaq. Good placement.
Absolutely nailed it. The sound of the bat says us all. It rockets as long as the connection is made, and the gap finding is one more time on full exhibition here. Beautifully played. No brute force, really, but timing that takes that ball to the boundary.
It's very well said. After the first delivery, went for a dot, and the next ball, the batter got little bit uh, tempted, and also he get frustrated to score the runs. So the batters are capitalizing on every scoring opportunity Ball by ball, they need that runs. That is a clear intent, as have now been shown by Mushtaq and Peter.
Good use of the back foot from Mushtaq Ahmed, and he's picked up a boundary for himself, but he needs lots more of those. This time, looking for a little bit of finesse, guiding that with that late cut, doesn't get the gap, and eventually Sachita is able to come back nicely after conceding that boundary.
It's going to be a lesson. There is no doubt on that. That some sheer class batting unit they do have a Penang. It's not about just a power. It's a smart cricketing brain at work. Every ball has been accessed on merit, and the field is being dissected like a chessboard. Still, there we could see it. There is a slight field change in their bowling side, and that's a gap. So, which means he knows that will surely goes for the boundary. Yeah. So 4 runs to finish off this over.
On that last occasion, made room for himself and carved it square of the wicket for another boundary. So one more time, he's picked up the gap perfectly, and the result is the same. And looks like Mushtaq Ahmed is also getting a move on alongside his captain at the other end. Both of them are looking quite confident out there. And now that they have laid that foundation and they've seen off that new ball as well, things are looking much better for them. I'm quite surprised that Amir Khan Malik is still not introduced himself into the attack, because he's someone who's been so good with that new ball and gets that outswing going right from the word go.
A strong and a steady confident start. This has been from Penang. 28 runs on the board after the completion of this 4 overs without losing any wickets. This is a great start. The openers have done their duty well to see of the new ball threat, timing the strokes with calm assurance. Here comes Amir Khan. The wicketkeeper is from behind the stumps. He seems to be an active player. The foundation has been laid already nicely, so no early wickets lost, which means they can accelerate in the upcoming overs. And there is a swing and a miss from the batter. A long chase for a fielder to stop the ball. Two fielders ran for that. Obviously, Penang definitely will get as many as runs possible.
Yes, finally, it is the introduction of the captain himself, Amir Khan, into this bowling attack and almost makes an immediate impression. That last delivery almost took that outside edge, or maybe could have been able to clip the stump as well. So you can see that there is some sharp movement already on offer. He's a key player, and he's someone who really likes a challenge and faces it up front. So good start from Amir Khan, and now he's up against the opposition number. So these are sometimes the small battles that are very interesting, and really captain against captain is one thing that truly excites me.
They will definitely see the scorecard right now. The batters are showing some great awareness and fitness, not just going for big shots, but expectly placing the ball into the gaps. Penang knows it clearly. This is an important match for them to stay alive in this tournament. It's a smart cricket using timing, placement over brute power. And they would have seen the earlier match, like a team who played against a Selangor, how they got bundled out. So everything, everything is happening in this venue. Big shot played by this batter. This time he clears the boundary ropes. That's a boundary.
Good looking shot, especially against someone like Amir Khan Malik. And he really allowed that ball to come to him. Eventually, just carved it over the top of the infield, not requiring any kind of power. But it is the class of Peter Isaac that does the rest. This time looking for finesse one more time, but doesn't get that late cut going. Amir Khan, in spite of conceding a boundary, this is turning out to be a good over. Just 6 runs off it. And now, if you look at that required run rate, it has quietly gone on to go at 11 and over. 165 runs needed of the 15 overs remaining, and this is going to be a tough ask, even though Penang at the moment have all 10 wickets in their hand.
So last over of this power play. So with the openers providing a risk-free and confident start, Penang will now have that high acceleration in their hand. The platform is set, wickets in hand, and the run rate steadily climbing. This equation is possible for Penang. 165 from 15 overs. So if they play like this, if they believe on their uh, process, they will get the results in this match. The key for Penang will be a smart rotation between big shots and the quick singles. Mushtaq is on strike. Play towards the offside, just a dot delivery.
The left-arm
And
spin
Penang,
of Ayman Jakwan is introduced, and look what has happened. The ball is chipped up in the air, even though he's going to be safe on that occasion, but you can see that the pitch is starting to behave slightly differently. It is a little bit sluggish out there, and especially when the bowler is allowing some flight with that ball, it's making the batter just wait for that fraction of a second longer, and in that time, the false result are sometimes being extracted. So good bowling from the left arm spinner.
yes, nice way to describe about him. But finally, Mohammad Haman gets a wicket. Wicketkeeper is too active behind the stumps and he takes a simple catch. It doesn't take a big aerial route, no big elevation. A simple one for the wicket taker. Penang lost their first wicket for 35 runs.
This is what a good bowler is able to do. I was talking about how well he's adjusting the line and the length of the ball. On that occasion, it was in such an area where the ball did not really come to the hitting zone of Peter Isaac. He went for that cross batted hit, but eventually picks up a leading edge, and the bowler was looking very threatening, does the first damage, picks up the very important wicket of Peter Isaac here, and the keeper has taken one of the most simplest catches that he's ever going to take. So, with that, a big moment in the game. We're still in the power play, 3 balls remaining, and right now it is a prized wicket of Peter Isaac that has fallen. In comes another talismanic batter. So, of course, Penang have a lot of handy players as well. Muhammad Amar is walked out to the middle, but I have to say, Ayman Jakwan is bowling very beautifully out there today.
So he is going to be the real threat for Penang in this game. Mohammad Haman Sakyan, after bowling a dot ball, just given a single, and the third ball went for a wicket. That he has got that variation, that mix up in his bowling. So, so he's having a fantastic day today as of now. Mohammad Ayman. Peter got 22 on the board, but finally he lost his wicket, and that's an important breakthrough for Ayman and also for Perak. So a new batter is at the crease. Muhammad Amar, a slip in place. There should be a plan. White, straight umpire, given that indication.
So far, it has been a typical outing for Mohammad Ayman Jakwan here. He's bowled with a lot of control, and he's really bowled with tight and disciplined control of that length, especially in particular. He's kept it very tidy, and now he's starting to attack that left arm angle and almost trying to get it through the defense of the new batter, Mohammad Amar here. Very good over so far, and the pressure is now starting to build.
Touch and flow. No runs in this over as of now. No big runs. Of course, the batter was trying to go for fluent shots and finding gaps. The strike rotation has to be very, very key here, but the slight misjudgment. Again, a beautiful piece of bowling from Mohammad Ayman. A chance for the fielder to throw the ball. So a single to finish off this over. 6 overs have got completed successfully. 37 on the board for the loss of 1 wicket. Penang.
This is a very rare occasion where the physio has come out to just check on the umpire. And sometimes we just forget about how much of a workload that they have, and they put out the hard work as well. So, just taking a moment here for him to get ready. The on field umpires today are Kalidas and Chandra, and they are also the people who sometimes does not get enough recognition. But I believe that Malaysia has some tremendous names in them giving the right decision all throughout the big tournaments. And even in this tournament, we've seen them rising to the occasion. So just when the physio is checking on him, it's the right moment to just mention about the hard work that they put in day in and day out. The match referee today is Edwin Chia, and he's also someone who's been keeping that sportsmanship spirit right up there. And so far, I think Malaysia cricket sets a right example for all the associate sides that how well they're trying to feature among the international sides and make a name for themselves in terms of the quality of cricket that they are able to produce from here.
Malaysia cricket has been quietly but steadily growing over the past decade and is becoming a nation to watch in the associate cricket scene. MCA is a governing body and has invested a lot in the grassroots development, school tournaments, and high performance programs. They've got the academies, youth leagues, and even women's development programs going stronger. Cricket is no longer limited to expats. Locals are now deeply involved. Here comes Amir Khan. Looks tidy, and they've kept the fielder out there for this particular batters. So this game is going literally good for Penang. 37 on the board for the loss of 1 wicket. 162 needed.
The control has been there. They are dominating in terms of the bowling effort. And I also want to speak about some of the very young names that have developed through the ranks after the completion of this delivery, which is a dot, so that allows me the time. So I have to talk about how Malaysia cricket has organized some vibrant calendar in terms of organizing this fantastic tournaments. We've seen a T10 tournament finished up very recently, and right now we've seen some emerging names like Diaz Patro alongside Muhammad Akram, just to mention a few. So as long as they get to play cricket more frequently, I think more and more names will pop up and join the likes of the international campaigners like Syed Aziz, Virendeep Singh, and now we have another operating at the moment, Amir Khan Malik.
This tournament and is becoming a little bit it gives more exposure for the more and the great players are watching in playing and game this game. 38 already on the board for Penang. So this grassroots development has been developed very well by MCA, and they're giving a much more opportunities for the players to perform on big stage. Couple of bounces and almost that flurry of runs of came for the Penang in this game. So they are setting the standards.
Yes, and adding to your information, I'm happy to mention also that Malaysia Cricket in 2025 has a very packed schedule. You'll be surprised to hear that 163 live stream matches just by July. So by August, they're likely to surpass even 200 matches. In it comes a very good looking delivery, and would you believe it? Amir Khan decides to have the keeper right up front to the wicket, and he's picked up a stump in. Shows us that he's got one outswing going, and Muhammad Ammar has to go back to the pavilion.
An important wicket for Perak at this point of time. They're just literally waiting for this, and have a look at the presence of mind from the wicket keeper. He not even give a little bit of moment for the batter to come at the crease. This is absolute something, beautiful to watch. Or this has been from the wicket keeper. So if you have any calculator or any or a mission, we just have to find the reaction of that speed that came from the wicket keeper. How far is so soon on grabbing the ball and hitting the stumps. Maybe zero point 0.5 or 0.7 seconds.
Excellent glove work, really. It's just about that split seconds, and sometimes you have to be really sharp as a wicketkeeper. And on that occasion, you've seen him how lightning fast he was in terms of dislodging the bails. Amir Khan gets his wicket, and make no mistake, this is some high class wicket keeping that has eventually rewarded Perak that breakthrough. So, with that, 2 wickets are now down, and that man who's done so well with the ball today, Junaid, walks in to join Mushtaq Ahmed.
Last ball to bowl in this over. The batter left. 7 overs have got completed. Penang 39 runs on the board for the loss of 2 wickets here. So what reflexes from the wicketkeeper? We have seen that lightning fast stamping work from the wicketkeeper of Perak. That was pure instinct and precision. The batter just overbalanced for a moment, and that's it. All it took. The keeper whipped the bails off in a flash. No time to even blink. That's textbook stumping from the wicketkeeper of Perak, showcasing the top-tier glove work and alertness. And you need that athleticism being as a wicketkeeper. You have to react for the ball immediately. 7 overs, 39 on the board. Penang. Oh, gone, I think so. What was that? I guess there is no celebration, but already the batter has been walking back to the pavilion. Yes, it's a wicket.
That was brilliantly done. Once again, it is the left arm spinner operating, and this time tossing it up, enticing that slog sweep from the batter, and off with that delivery. He has cleaned him up as good as it gets. A straight delivery, picks up and crashes onto the stump. The bowler really, on that occasion, did not need the support of the wicketkeeper, just like we've seen him before. But then we've seen a little bit of a muted celebration. So almost as if he was quite aware that he was going to get the wicket of Mushtaq Ahmed. But make no mistake, he was a prize wicket. He's the man who is in form, and he now has to go back to the hut. In comes Bilal Hazrat, and now he finds his side in a spot of bother.
This is the pace where the temperament is tested, and what a great piece of bowling from Mohammad Aman Zakion. Immediately, he got literally charged up. The way he releases the ball and putting that full pressure on the batter, and what a turn! And straight away, the ball kisses the stumps. The breakthrough opens up the game, and the fielding side knows it clearly. So now is the pressure on for Penang. They have lost their first three key batters. Is 39 for 3 down already. From here, they need to score another 160 runs from 12.5. Abrar. Going to be a big task for Penang.
Yes, now it is seemingly getting more difficult, almost as if they are going to have a mountain of a task ahead, just like a cliffhanger. And have to give credit, like you mentioned, to Ayman Zakwan. What a spell this has been from that young bowler. Outstanding control with some clear variation as well. He's kept the pressure throughout this innings. And at the moment, 12.47 is never easy, even if you have 10 wickets in hand. And what is it going to be when you have just the 7 of what remains? So you mentioned the right thing here. And right now, Penang are finding themselves in a difficult situation.
Bilal is the new batter in, and we came to see the beautiful innings of Mudit Lakshan from Perak. Single-handedly turned the entire course of that this game in the first innings. The way he handled the pressure, that's now a white signal given by the straight umpire. So the same job, the same scenario where Penang lives right now. So someone has to lift this game. Either it's going to be a Bilal or a Syed Junaid from this situation.
But it's a very difficult ask to be demanding something of that kind of an innings from Bilal and Syed Junaid. Bilal Hasrat is now at the crease and he has a reputation of a big hitter. Right now, that is why the question is going to be, can he consolidate? Because as of this moment, it is not about power. They need someone to steady the innings and build some kind of a partnership. As you can see, Mohammad Ayman Jakwan is running away with a cluster of dot deliveries, and the pressure will soon start to mount on these two batters. One more time, a play and a miss, and things are getting very difficult.
This is clever cricket from Perak with the required run rate climbing and wickets already down for Penang. They seem to be they're not in a panic mode. Instead, they're focusing on keeping the scoreboard ticking, like rotating strike and collecting those crucial singles and twos. This is what the thing where Penang is doing right now. Every run matters now, and this kind of disciplined approach can frustrate the fielding side. They will rely on that. There is no doubt on that. The pressure slowly starts shifting back to the bowlers as the partnership builds. Said Junaid didn't open his account, and also Bilal. It's not always about the big shots. Sometimes it's the calmness, calculated singles that shape the chase. So Syed Junaid and Bilal, they have to do some calculations here to get this run chase on their feet.
Amir Khan Malik really operating in a very good passage of play here because from here on, singles and doubles are definitely not going to cut it for Penang. The asking rate is climbing and gone all the way beyond 13 and over. Penang simply can't afford to lose any more wickets either. So they need someone to just step on that accelerator because otherwise they'll just have to die wondering.
The way he plays the ball, and it shows that elegance in his batting. And yes, of course, you have mentioned that required run rate is going very higher for Penang to win this match, 13.54, which so it means they have to score at least 12 runs per over. Then only uh, this target for Penang, it will be a easier one for them. It's a real test of temperament and intent now. Rotation won't be enough. They will need those big shots and a few explosive overs to get back on track. What a stop! What a stop with his one-handed. Brilliant to watch out.
That is Aslam Khan, who is going to be very confident. Ball just traveling to him and almost in that West Indian flair sort of a way. He just is able to grab onto that with one hand. And I think the icing on the cake would have been if he was able to get a direct hit. But nevertheless, this is turning out to be another solid over by his brother, Amir Khan. And as of now, Bilal Hasrat and Syed Junaid Khan are finding it very difficult.
Good leave, and but this time he bowls a little bit wider, Amir Khan. So extras. This runs will be gifted for the Penang. So as I've mentioned about West Indies, tough times for West Indies cricket board, and we could see there are a lot of players. I mean, mature players where they are not in the squad, and they've gone into the downfall. But they are now good. So 42 on the board as of now for Penang right now. Just a single. Now Penang is creating as many as chances in this match to get the runs.
Two more deliveries remaining. Amir Khan once again chipping in with a very quiet over. And so far, Syed Junaid and Bilal Hazrat are just wandering about at the crease. They have found it difficult to rotate the strike and they're kept very quiet.
So they need to play the key role in this game. It's a real test of temperament. Pressure is mounting with every dot ball or the balls which they play in this game. Can someone step up and shift the momentum? That is a question which is raising in everyone's mind. Last ball to be bowled by Amir Khan in this over. Syed Junaid
I
is
think
on strike. That's a boundary. Boundary being scored by the batter. Luckily, he got the chance.
of the last delivery, he really required something like that to happen, and he was helped on its course because of that misfield. One more time, I think it was Aslam Khan. This time, he was attempting to stop it with that single hand as well, but it wasn't working for him, and he's picked up a boundary. In spite of that, I have to say Amir Khan has completed his 3 overs quite nicely, gone for just 15. When the required run rate is 13 and over, if you're bowling with an economy of 5, it is outstanding.
It's an interesting thing to watch out from Penang. 47 on the board for the loss of 3 wickets, Bilal. Now this tall man will deal this spinner. Full of one and almost given a lot of width for the batter to hit that shot. Mohammad Ayman, is he giving as many as chances for the batters?
Plenty of dot deliveries for Ayman Jakwan today, and his spell is 4 runs and 2 wickets in 2 overs. So, this is the kind of exceptional outing you wanted from such a young talent. He's bowled with real flight and drift on occasions as well. But for my liking, I think the best part about his bowling has been the change of pace.
Flights through the air and giving much more chance for the batter to get those runs. This time he finds a different region. So as the innings moves into the middle pace right now, we're almost into the 10th over. The scoreboard reads 49 for the loss of 3 wickets, Penang. This can be done by them. Decent delivery. That was too close.
I think he's lining the batter quite beautifully. On a couple of occasions, he's been slightly short of pitch, and that is why the batter was perhaps hoping for another one, but then mixed it brilliantly. That was a touch fuller and a touch quicker through the air as well, almost committing the batters to a false stroke. So, with that, another single, and really at this stage, Perak in full control.
50 comes up for Penang. The focus now has to be on the smart strike rotation combined with some calculated aggression. This is the one thing which it was keep on mentioning from the beginning of this second innings. A good shot from the batter. So every dot balls adds pressure definitely. And so the batters must look for singles and convert ones into twos. 10 overs have got completed. So it means 60 balls contest have got over. It's time for the players and the umpires to go and have some drinks. 10 overs have got completed. Penang 50 runs on the board for the loss of 3 wickets here at the halfway mark of the innings. Now they're coming back after the drinks break, offers a moment of reflection and regrouping for the Penang batters. With the scoreboard reading around 50 runs, the chase is still mathematically possible. 149 from 10 overs. Boss, this is cricket. But only if the next phase is handled with smart intent and uh, calm execution, this can be done. Beautifully played. And this is fascinating one to watch out. This boundary after the drinks break and giving a much more relief for Penang.
And starting that against someone like Sharvin Muniandi, it's never easy. He's one of the best all-rounders in this Malaysia circuit. And he starts off with a slightly wideish delivery. And that is the width that is required for the tall man Bilal Hazrat to really get that reach. And of course, he has a longer reach and he has capitalized with that shot.
The required run rate is climbing and the Penang needs to re-access their approach. They have to go for some big shots. There is no big time for them to settle and play. They can't afford to let too many overslips without scoring any boundaries. Surely they will find the boundaries. There should be a strategy. There should be a tactics to follow. Syed Junaid is on 6. Sharvin after conceding a boundary. Now, with the short ball, slashes towards the offside. They have the fielder out there and could stop.
Interestingly, so far, we haven't seen the introduction of someone like Rahim Khan. Rahim, the leg spinner, has done so well for Perak so far in this tournament, and he's among the highest wicket takers. So, right now, Amir Khan is operating with the fast bowlers and Ayman Jakwan, the left arm spinner. It will be interesting to see when it is Rahim Khan's introduction into the attack.
Sharvin bowling his first over in this game, coming back after the first 10 overs. So, which means there should be a smart strategy in this. The batters are hungry for runs now. They know the asking rate is climbing. Every ball counts from here. Tall man trying to slash towards the offside, but it's a decent delivery. Picking up the great line and length here, Sharvin.
Talk about an innings that is required from Penang at this stage. We have to mention what good of an innings it was from Mudita Lakshan today. He is the tournament's second highest run scorer already. Top of the chart is Hasnan Ahmed from Selangor. But what an outing he's been having throughout. He scored 200s already, and right now he's really setting this tournament on fire. But when we're talking about Penang, not really anyone stepping up to the cause today. They've been struggling to find out a few partnerships out there, and when the likes of some of the big names came out, we really hope that they will deliver. But contributions came from up top. Mushtaq Ahmed scored 14 and Peter Isaac with 22. But after that, a cluster of wickets fell. Mohammad Ammar gone for 2 runs, and Syed Junaid Khan and Bilal Hazrat at the moment are out there in the crease with the score of 7 and 9 respectively. So now in comes Rahim Khan. He's one of the most promising leg spinner that Malaysia has to offer. He's really trying to make an impression for himself, and he's always featuring amongst wickets. So that's really something that inspired Amir Khan to just hand over the ball to him.
We have already seen that heroics of Mudita Lakshan in the first innings. But as that is a thing you have mentioned a few minutes back ago. Now it's Penang turn to mirror the heroics shown. Just like Mudita led the charge for Perak, Penang batters need someone to step up with the same fire. It's 58 already, lighted through the air, but this time he played towards that leg side. But do you think this singles is going to help for Penang to win this chase?
Absolutely not, John, because the required run rate is 16 and over. Even if you get 6 of every singles rather, 6 singles in the over, you'll only get 6 runs. So that is not going to hurt the emotions of Perak here. They're in full control. So every over, they at least have to target a couple of boundaries if they want to be in this game. But that is not like what is happening out there.
Rightly said, with the 139 runs required from just 8.2, Penang now faces a towering challenge. The equation is tough and the pressure is real, but not possible. Like what they need now is clarity, calmness, and the calculated aggression. And also, they have to be aware of the points table. So they need a win to stay alive. And also, Kuala Lumpur is waiting. They might be watching this game very closely.
Yes, you're right to mention about that because this Group B is in a very interesting position. Kuala Lumpur is a very strong side, and so is Penang and Perak. So each of these three teams are looking to just dominate each other. And right now, every game in this group is very decisive of how this tournament is going to transpire. And talking about how many runs were required at the moment, the required run rate is gone over 17 and over. So realistically speaking, it's an uphill task. They'll need someone to play an extraordinary innings. They need to clear the ropes almost with every ball, like I mentioned before. But John, at the moment, it looks like when we expect a few more boundaries, the runs have really started to look like they've dried up completely. So maybe cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties, but it is quite unreal for asking us about a batter who can step up to the occasion here.
Sharvin with a beautiful delivery. He knows the importance of this match. So he wants to stop this run flow. But however, 139 is the required thing for Penang to win this from 7.5. The batters looks under pressure, struggling to score the runs.
At the moment, it is going way beyond reach. And the moment it starts going around those 20 runs mark, it is mathematically possible, but logically, we always say that the bowling team is going to come out victorious. So when pressure is mounting, Sharvin produces a wide ball. It is a very dangerous Bilal Hasrat on strike, but he has been kept relatively quiet. So that really tells us that sometimes even the most experienced and even the biggest of the hitters can sometimes struggle to get boundaries when pressure is mounting on them.
It's so funnier to say that. So if I want to mention right now on Penang dugout, like if there is any Andrew Russell or Kyron Pollard or Chris Gale, anyone is sitting out there in the dugout, so you have the right time to come in and score this runs for Penang. It's 138 required from 7.4 to stay in the hunt. This is now a test of skill and temperament and a big match mindset. Played
Even
nicely.
if someone like Andrew Russell or maybe Karen Pollard is out there, 18 and over is going to be difficult for them as well. So that's the point that I'm trying to make, that the batters of Penang have really played plenty of dot deliveries and really put themselves under tremendous pressure. From here on, it looks very gloomy for the batting side, and perhaps the game is taken too deep by them before they start the onslaught.
And this big shot came after a long time for Penang. Yes, this has to be there for them. This has to get continue for Penang. Syed Junaid has taken a risk.
Oh, they absolutely need more of those. And Syed Junaid is showing us that he does have the shot, and that's why I'm starting to wonder if he can repeat this on a much more frequent basis, because that is what is required from him. No, they do not really require to just hang in there. What is it going to be? Delay the inevitable? But that's not something that should be there. They want to close the gap as much as possible and score as many runs as they can, because that is when later in this tournament, when the net run rate comes in, they'll be finding themselves in a better position.
That's a love to see from Sharvin, mixing up the pace, and he's bowling some cutters and that slower deliveries and trying to create that full pressure on the batter. He knows this is the right time for Syed Junaid and Bilal to, take up the charge. So very great raider of the game, Sharvin. Beautifully played. And couple of bounces, so which means a single, I guess. Penang 67 for the loss of 3 wickets here after the completion of 13 overs. T20 is a miracle, and miracles don't follow logic. In the fast-paced world of T20 cricket, we have seen many grand leagues. This chase would have been a possible one, but nothing is over until the final ball has been bowled. Yeah, side Junaid 13 or 14, and well played by the batter to move with that single. Matches swings in seconds and heroes of.
Or was there an edge on that occasion? I think from the reaction from Rahim Khan, it tells us that maybe the keeper has missed out on that one, but these are difficult chances. You really can't expect the keeper to gather it, and if it doesn't, you can't really be too disappointed. These are chances that should be taken, but sometimes it can just go down asking to be taken.
Yes, already we have seen that big shot came from the batter in that last over. So a batter was silent for almost 10 balls, can suddenly take that moment. What a throw that came from the fielder to hit the stumps. He need this wicket desperately. So that is a desperation we could see from the faces of Perak.
And now with the required run rate exactly reaching 20 and over, I think the game is looking like it's getting beyond the reach of Penang. But lots on offer for Rahim Khan. He can still improve his personal stats, so there is something for personal motivation here. If he improves his number, that can just allow him to be up there in terms of the bowling leaderboard. So even if the result is now seemingly starting to get decided, every run and every boundary still is going to add to the player's confidence and his stats.
Certainly, as we head into the final stretch of this high octane contest, the equation for Penang is steep, almost bordering on the improbable. 2 more deliveries to go in this over. 130 is a required one. Again, a dot ball from Rahim. Almost we are near to the death overs, and what a bowling this has been from Rahim.
Yes, that is why he's considered to be one of the best in the business in terms of what the domestic circuit had to offer. Leg spin is a rare commodity, but he has perfected that skill. So with that, the game is starting to drift further into that one-sided territory, which we did not think of when we started this second innings. Penang at the moment has managed to score 70 with a loss of 3 after the completion of the 14 overs. You can see in the replay that was just a shot which did not have much intent behind it, just getting a single. Perak's bowlers have been very disciplined and have never let the innings gain any kind of momentum. And every over, things are getting more and more difficult. And right now, it is, like I mentioned before, they're delaying their bit.
70 all on the board for Penang for the loss of 3 wickets here. 14 overs have got completed. And here comes the century man. Man who scored a brilliant century today. And he's a hero of the first innings. And almost he's a hero of this match, it seems. Maintaining the run rate. At the first innings, we see that this champion played a brilliant knock for Perak. So a spinner in action, Mudita Lakshan.
Is up against Syed Junaid Khan, and with Mudita joining the attack, I want to just remind our viewers that don't make the mistake of thinking that he's just a part timer. He's an excellent left arm spinner and he's very accurate. He never allows the batters to get enough room, and he's often capable of breaking partnerships in this format. So, just giving him perhaps that little bit of a rest, and now he's finally introduced into the attack by the captain, Amir Khan.
Some change of pace in this delivery. The ball came a little bit straight. So even though Penang is staring at a tough loss, but what is it? One thing which is popping in my mind right now. There is one silver lining they can take away from this encounter. Even Kuala Lumpur is staying at the race. Penang, they are good at that net run rate, it seems, even though they both are sharing the 4 points. So that may be the another reason. What was that from Bilal? He's a big man, but they have the fielder out there. It should be Sharvin who picks up a great catch.
Bilal Hasrat was starting to look quite frustrated there, and that was really the cue for Mudita to just toss it up. And you can really never underestimate the bowling of Mudita Lakshan, just like I mentioned before. And on that occasion, his eyes lit up when that ball was in the slot, but it was cleverly flighted, and that's why it was not quite able to get fully underneath it. Timing was missing. Eventually, Sharvin, one of the best hands in this circuit, takes an absolute simple of a catch, dismissal.
That pressure was already mounting on them, and just when Penang needed stability, so they've lost a wicket. This could be the turning point in this game. The asking rate is climbing more than 20 plus. And with this dismissal, the momentum tilts even further away from this chasing side. Rick Nash will be the new man in, coming with a lot of pressure. But he's having that full energy, whether it was a mistimed slog or a brilliant piece of bowling, that one from the Mudita Lakshan. But we'll have to talk about Mudita Lakshan more on this match, right? He's too handy with the bat and he can, bowl and he can get some wickets for his sides. This is something, a brilliant stuff from Mudita Lakshan, an all-rounding performance today.
Yes, the game was already gone long before this. The required run rate is 24, but this feels like it's really the final nail in the coffin. Mudita has already picked up a wicket, and now even that faint hope in terms of competing with the total of Perak on the board, they have already dismantled themselves. And now I think they'll be just trying to survive the next 6 overs. At least they'll come out of this match with a moral victory, thinking that they've been able to play out the full 20 overs. So, other than that, they'll only be eyeing to just lower that deficit as much as possible. But for that job, in is Riknesh, and his partner still is Junaid.
No big runs on the last ball. So 15 overs have got completed. Penang 71 for the loss of 4 wickets here. Now, my question is 128 from 5 overs. Abra, do you have any fond memories of any team scoring this chase?
Oh, not really. Even in international cricket, if I'm thinking at of now, I think one time I've seen Dashun Chanaka chasing around 60 in 3 overs. That's one of the chases that immediately comes to my mind. I think in the IPL, I've seen Pat Cummins do one of this blinder of an innings against, I don't even remember which team it is, but he was playing for Kolkata Knight Riders. So as you can see, we can't even recall 50 or 60 odd runs to be chased from the last 3 or 4 overs. And now we're talking about 128. So it's way far fetched and it's almost logically impossible. Just mathematically, they're alive. But it will be very optimistic to think that from here on, Penang has any kind of chance to come out victorious.
The pressure is sky high, and unless a miracle partnership unfolds, this game seems to be slipping away. 128 from 4.5. It just like went like a practice game for Perak, if I'm not wrong. And good delivery from Rahim. The non-striker wants a single badly. He's a new batter.
I can tell you one thing for sure. Rahim Khan is operating just with that one expectation. I wonder how he's missed out on a wicket there. That was a very good delivery, as we have confirmation in the replay. Somehow, the batter Syed Junaid survives. But already the game in Perak's pocket, he'll be looking to finish strong. And he's still not among wickets, and that's really a column that he usually likes to be quite flourished. So, in terms of economy, he's done a fantastic job one more time. But it's just about that personal pride and making an impact late in this innings. Can he deliver a wicket for his side?
With just they needed 128 from 4.3, so the game is all but out of Penang's reach, and the spinners are tightening the screws beautifully. Last over we could see from Mudita Lakshman, and no, I'm getting a question in mind, like what went wrong for Penang today? In which area they made it wrong?
I think you've asked a very wonderful question. It was one that was in my mind as well. So, right now, I will have an opportunity to explain my thoughts in this. So, I was thinking that if you observe even the previous game against Kuala Lumpur, they were brilliant with the ball, but let's not forget it was a struggle with the bat in hand for them. Today it's been difficult. They've faced a target of 198, but that can happen in a T20 game. But look at what is transpiring with the bat one more time. They've lacked the fluency. They needed some partnership that wasn't to be, and eventually they were never able to just assert themselves. So that is the reason why we've seen some intention missing after that wicket of the top order in the captain, Peter Isaac, of course, and Mushtaq. But since then, we haven't really seen any of the batters just trying to score big, or they have failed to rotate the strike as well. So that is the reason I think this is something that they really have to work on, because they have some big names in their ranks as well, and they really should be just trying to go after a chase. And I think batting is what is letting them down in this tournament. And that's one thing they have to really work on if they want to find themselves further up in this tournament, maybe even in the semis if they're able to make it.
That's a good point to add on that. This game is actually, it seems to be a lesson and a big learning for Penang. Short ball, tempted by the Mudita Lakshan, Syed Junaid, who played 26 deliveries almost in this game, and he able to score 18 runs. So every over counts, and this chasing big total demands clarity and intent in execution from the ball one. Mudita Lakshan to Rick Nash. So T20 cricket is often described as a game of fine margins. So where a single over, a drop catch, or a mistimed shot can turn the tide. Mudita Lakshan in today's match. A great all-rounding performance. Match served as a harsh lesson in how vital it is to strike the perfect balance. 2 dot balls. And gone! The ball kisses the stems, I guess. Is that a wicket? Yes.
So straightforward delivery from Mudita that rewards him a wicket. Nothing so special about it. It's just that the batter was in absolute no position to cut that one away. And in the end, the arm ball results in a wicket for Mudita. So would you believe it? One more day where we see that Mudita is delivering with both bat and ball, and he's backed up that 100 beautifully with an outstanding spell of left-arm spin bowling. He's picked up 2 wickets, given away just 2 runs, and right now he is definitely asking our presenters if he can be considered for the player of the match.
Yes, I guess like you have read my mind. So that is the question I was about to ask you in the next few seconds. So if there is any guess for the spectators and also for the management, are they thinking who is going to be the player of this match? Oh, boss, there is no doubt on that. Modita Lakshan, 2 for 2, and also a brilliant knock on a big game. So a special player, a special innings. So new batter is at the crease right now.
I really have to make a further comment about the way that Penang has gone on to score today, and definitely brings something more in my mind that when Penang are back with the bat next time, they'll have to reassess how they build their innings. Because today they were relying on just a few players in particular. I think they were over reliant on Peter Isaac and Mushtaq Ahmed, but that can't happen every day, right? They have to rely on cameos or some late hitting as well. But so far, that has not been the case. None of the middle order batters have stood up to the task, and absolutely no partnerships. The rotation of the strike in terms of picking up single has been very poor as well. So this is what they have to keep in their mind. Sometimes they can afford to spend a little bit of time out there and first build up a platform and then decide to just launch on from there. We've seen it during the innings of Perak as well. In spite of the loss of wickets, they were able to come back very strongly. So really something to learn even from your opposition when you have a bad day. Some of the good things you should be able to just soak in and eventually translate when you go out to bat. And that is something that I'll be hoping from Penang to do. Because some of the names up their rank are absolutely phenomenal. It's just that they're not able to quite deliver it in terms of their effort in that outing.
And also, the pitch has to react accordingly for Penang, a team who's chasing a bit of 199. There is no big celebration again from this bowler, it seems. Sachita, just now he came, but what was that? Is he going to give the handshake to his teammate? So, which means that that's a wicket.
One more time, we are seeing another spinner who's come in, this time a fuller delivery from that leg spinner who's operated in that initial part of the innings, and now he comes back and picks up the wicket of Syed Junaid Khan. He definitely hung in there. I have to say, from one end, he was trying to just play as many deliveries as he can, but it's just that he's received no support from the other end, and now eventually has to go back to the hut. Sachita deserved a wicket. He bowled well in the initial phase of the game. Now he gets a number in that wickets column.
Another one bites the dust. The spinner strikes again. Penang 73 for 6. This wicket could very well seal the fate of the match unless a miracle unfolds from here. The fielding side is pumped and the pressure just doubled for the batting unit.
I think,
Lokman.
John, we're well past miracles here because the required run rate is 44.47. So even mathematically, it is not possible anymore. And at the moment, it is just the batters of Penang trying to play out there and just see off the entire 20 overs. That should be what is in their mind. With Lokman Hakim on strike, there's Sachita to just in the hopes of picking up one more wicket.
So 73 for the loss of 6 wickets here. Penanga, so as I was mentioning earlier, what was that one thing that literally went with Penang and what could be the proper learning for them from this game? In the fast-paced world of T20 cricket, matches can swing in a matter of overs. Success is determined not just by talent but by strategy and adaptability. The importance of a strong start. If you see players like Virender Sehwag or the greatest players like Ashley Gibbs from South Africa, the first 6 overs inside the power play with the new ball, they will show that intent, they will show that aggression, and I think that is maybe that intent Penang would have shown that start. That strong start is slightly missing.
I think collectively the batting has not really fired for Penang in this tournament yet. They've been surviving because of the very good bowling of some of the likes of Peter Isaac as well as Bilal Hazrat, the others. So it's really that one aspect which has not really turned up for them in this tournament. And right now they're finding themselves in difficult situation on consecutive matches because of that lapse of effort.
To mention this, in the middle overs mismanagement, the middle overs proved costly for Penanga. And in fact, the credit goes to the Perak. They played as a complete team. Not only they are good in batting and they're so exceptional in bowling too. 18 overs have got completed, so which means two dot balls to finish off this over. Penang 78 already on the board for the loss of 6 wickets.
I'm starting to wonder who the captain can hand over the ball to. And if I am the skipper, I would have definitely considered two bowlers, that is Rahim Khan and Mudita Lakshan. Mudita has picked up 2 wickets, and Rahim Khan has just given away 7 runs in his 3 overs. So, just to be giving them that opportunity to make an impression in terms of being a leader at the bowling charts, that could have done lots of wonder to their confidence. But looks like Amir Khan Malik is going with a slightly different approach. At the penultimate over, we're seeing the introduction of a new bowler, and looks like he wants to prepare his side for the later part of this tournament and just see how everyone else is going to operate. So this is quite interesting, and I have to appreciate it. He's not thinking conventionally. He's really just trying to see how someone like Norman Haikal can come into the attack and just deliver the goods or not.
Normal Haikal. They have handled the pressure, Penang, and little bit of game awareness is slightly missing. And also, you have mentioned it correctly that partnerships are the vital one in the game of T20 cricket. That is the another point. It's slightly missing with the Penang in a crucial game like this. In such scenarios, they have to take some calculated risk or essential. Big shot. That one was a clean strike by this batter. Oh my dear. After a long time, we are witnessing a boundary in this match.
I'm quite surprised to see the likes of Isaac coming so far down the order. We've seen him open the innings previously, and today, for my surprise, he's come out to bat at such a deep part of this tournament, rather this innings. And this is really a little bit baffling to me. And he's taken Norman Haikal down the ground as if he was almost decisive that wherever the ball will be, he's going to play a shot at it. So really, he could have been useful up the order, especially when the other batters were operating. And look at that. One more time, he smashed it. And of course, this man can bat. He's an opening batsman, and he knows how to time the ball against the faster bowler. He hits a six a little too late, but definitely that will raise a few eyebrows. That why was he introduced so late in that order?
.90 on the board for the Penang. Norman Haikal conceding a boundary and a 6. So this is individual brilliance right now from Isaac Kumar, coming a little bit late in this game for Penang. Cricket remains a team game to win all the departments. Batting, bowling and fielding must function collectively. Unity and clarity in roles will help Penang build stronger match strategies. Reflecting on this game, improving the situational awareness. So 1 over remaining. Isaac Kumar, 12 of 5. Norman Haikal to Isaac Kumar. There is a change in the fielding, it seems. Wide delivery.
I think even though this over is turning out to be a little expensive in the context of the game, it is going to do lots of good to the confidence of Norman Haikal. It is going to give an impression that the captain trusts him and is almost preparing him for a future contest. And with that ball, it is a dot shy at the non-striker's end, and eventually that is going to be costing them a single. So really, they're still trying to pick up wickets here, and just hopeful attempt from the wicketkeeper.
This is turning out to be one of the finest performances from Perak in the recent times, with tight bowling, sharp fielding, and clever use of the spin and choosing the right bowlers which they have in their pipeline. and they have completely controlled the game. Oh, trouble for the batter, and one more wicket for Perak in this game. How many runouts we have seen, Abrar, today like this?
Yes, and of the runouts that we have seen today, I think this was perhaps one of the most surprising one for me. There was never going to be a second there, and I don't know if this is a rush of blood or the fielder is making them pay with anything brilliant. It is just straightforward. The fielder out there just collected it, and it was a straightforward chance, really. So in the end, it is a run out, but I'm quite surprised. So late in the order, suddenly they decided to just go after it, and I'm quite surprised by their approach.
Well, Brad will be the new man in for Penang. So he's getting an opportunity right now to play some few deliveries in this game. That's a good stuff from Norman, a young and talented bowler. Bowls a beautiful over. 19 overs have got completed. It's 93 for the loss of 7 wickets. So last over, 106. Okay, I should not say that. But it's been a complete team effort from both the sides. Unfortunately, Penang uh, lost in some point of that moment. Fielding was the another major factor in Perak's performance today. Agile, alert, and aggressive. They've saved crucial runs, took sharp catches, and converted half chances into wickets. The wicketkeeper stumping and the outfielders' anticipation were signs of a well-drilled unit. Rahim, here comes Abrar, favorite bowler. Perhaps what impressed most was the Perak's ability to adapt accordingly to the game.
You've made me
Oh,
chuckle with
again,
that comment. Uh, and yes, another run out. And once again, you're seeing the batter just running absolutely nowhere. Never a second, and almost as if they're just trying to go back to the hut. There is maybe something there which we are not aware of. But look at that. Out of nowhere, decided to take a single which was on, but really it's the second which was never. Soft dismissal, really.
so this wicket won't be counted in Rahim's favor, but it will be counted in the team. One, Penang, 93 for the loss of 8. I don't think so. No one would have never imagined the scorecard of Penang like this when they were coming to chase this target of 199 in 20 overs. And they've already got crumbled 93 for 8. This should not happen for them
Looks
again.
Looks like Penang is a team that is constantly surprising us. Yesterday, for a moment, we thought that they'll be done and out, and against Kuala Lumpur, they were so good. They came out of nowhere and they grabbed the game by the jugular and eventually came out victorious. And today, I thought this is a game that is going to be quite interesting because they are a very good batting side on paper, and with a target of 198 against the bowling attack of Perak, they could have really fancied their chances, but they've thrown their wickets away and they haven't never really settled in. So right now it is Rahim Khan to continue. And just to make it clear, I don't have any favorites. It's just that sometimes I'm hopeful for a bowler who's very competitive, and I just want all of them to prosper in their very approach. So with that, I'm very happy that he gets a go and almost has a shy at the stump one more time to pick up a wicket here because he's been very competitive throughout this tournament.
As of now, this game has been done and dusted. A fitting praise for a match where one team clearly outclassed the other in all departments. Are they happy with that boundary or any big run scored by them? And have a look at that shot.
Oh, yes, that was nicely placed away. I think that's a very good looking sweep shot, and he really shows us that he can play the spin very well. So, Edmund Jivaraj has a point to prove. He will say to his teammates that, see, I know how to play, so maybe next time promote me up the order. But other than that, in terms of the target for Penang, that shot will not do too much good because they are still needing 102, and that is also from two balls, so quite an impossible task. And with that, we're up towards that final ball now. Rahim coming in, and maybe, perhaps today he will remain wicketless.
Penang were outplayed tactically and mentally, a mix of poor shot choices, and that's it from this game. 20 overs contest have got over. Penang finishing off with 97 for the loss of 8 wickets, so which means a big margin of victory for Perak. So we just have to give a big congratulations and kudos to that one batter who outplayed today Mudita Lakshan, 118 of 62. So here is the match summary. And Mohammad Hasik Aiman, 20 of 16 from Perak. Syed Junaid, who bowled really very well for 39. And from Penang, they came out to chase this 199 in 20 overs. They couldn't able to get this chase. They've got crumbled out in the middle overs. And big credit goes to Mudita Lakshan, who bowled really very well after that 15 overs, 2 for 2. Look at that exceptional spell in just 2 overs. He did this. And in fact, Mohammad Ayman Zaikhan, 2 for 7 in 3 overs. So it's a big victory for Perak, and they won this match. So that's it. Myself, John, and Abrar are signing off from here. Thank you.
Today match between Penang and Perak, the player of the match go to Munita Lahsan, who scored 118 runs in 62 balls and 2 wickets for 2 runs. Well done.